I'm a fuck fiend, I like to fuck things. A cactus, a fly, a fucking meat slam. That guy, that's cause we cock gang, no sweet shit, just salt face. I come only Sundays, cause I only fuck, I stay loyal. Got 3 legs, 2 tripods, walking when the night falls. Guys, that's...
You literally don't give a fuck.
What are you talking about?
Rapcast, summer episode. Summer of happiness and joy and sex. Plenty of sex. Don't
Summer's
worry, guys.
on.
Hot girl summer.
Yeah, I would definitely describe it as hot girl summer.
Fair warning, we're going to be showing some skin in these next few episodes. Our legs are ready to go here, and so are our arms.
And what, is that a new tattoo?
Aye, matey. It's a wave, and I'll have maybe a picture of it.
I'm shocked. Use this for the thumbnail.
We have to stop trying to make, even though it makes my life easier. It's I don't know. I feel icky. I feel
to
icky.
make your life easier.
Yeah, come on. You guys are going to keep doing these editing, just throwing editing tasks.
Hey, it's the timeless art of seduction.
That's true. And also, while we're at it, check out our Twitter, Instagram, and new TikTok pages. We're going off on TikTok.
Hey, I'm saying, if we can get these Chinese apps on our side,
That's
then
all we need.
the sky's the limit.
And also, Old Lady Ice. It's almost at 1K views.
Let's run that shit
One of our
up.
best songs I think we made. I'm still kind of proud of the music video, even though it was kind of a shit fest and, low budget and amateur shit. It's still fun.
Kind
but
of a
check
shit
that one
fest.
out.
Look at this guy. So humble.
My own worst enemy. Right,
Yeah.
guys? Please Don't Call the Cops. I should have said it earlier. Please Don't Call the Cops might be out by the time this drops. We'll see. If I have to edit this, then maybe not, but we'll see. Stay tuned. Links in description.
Yeah, so summer's on. We're out here looking like Jesus Christ extras.
We both need hair. We all need haircut. I mean, Josh just got his haircut, actually.
This is
So
like
he's looking fresh and clean.
This
but
is the understudies for the Passion of the Christ movie.
I feel like I should be like on an 80s movie about going to high school with my hair and shit.
I just shaved sides of my face, but not all of it.
There you
To
go.
keep the beard, because I
Dude,
look
you're
like
looking
a
like Tony
prepubescent
Stark out here.
I look like
Yeah.
a prepubescent child without the beard.
I can't have...
And I shave my balls.
Okay.
It's pretty nice out, where you went on a trip to the
I'm a
East
worldwide
Coast.
stepper, if you'd say.
Yeah.
Province-wide stepper.
Yeah, pretty much.
And
Coast
the
to
tat
coast.
is that symbolizes the new beginnings in life.
No.
So the yin and yang of...
To an extent, it's a ode to Mac Miller, rap-centric tattoo, swimming in circles. It's in a circle. The wave from the album.
And also the Great Wave from that famous painting.
Yeah.
Oh, I was about to say Kojima, but that's the other guy.
Yeah, that's the other
Kobayashi.
Japanese guy.
Yeah.
One other Japanese guy.
We're here to talk about
Incoming.
Kendrick, guys. Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah, okay.
Changes.
We're already wasting time here. It's gonna be a long
It's
one, I
going to
think.
be a very long one.
We're gonna go through a little bit of his discography from beginning to end, kind of thing, and then go track by track
So
on the
strap
album.
in,
If you just want to hear the album review, go to the description and see the little timestamp or whatever. I'll just go to the album. But we're here to talk about. We haven't talked about Kendrick like, at all.
How should we start this? Kung Fu Kenny.
Oklahoma or OK Llama. Apparently, is how it's pronounced. I thought it was Oklahoma. I was wrong on that one.
Oklahoma. K-Dot.
Yes, sir. Man's apparently
King
is called
Kunta.
Man. King Kunta. And the Black Panther. Yeah, I mean, I think we should start with how we all first heard Kendrick.
Yeah, first of all, on the Rapcast, it's crazy that we've been doing this for a year and a half or
Almost
something.
2, probably, yeah.
And we have never really given a full convo about Kendrick. We've only kind of like danced around the subject and talked about it like with Baby Keem's album,
Right.
which he was on. But like other than that,
Yeah,
he
just
hasn't
little
put anything
things here
out
and there.
since we started podcasting.
Yeah.
So,
and I think in a way I was kind of just waiting. Like we could have talked about Kendrick, but like we're all such big fans of his that like I just want to wait to get it all out on one episode and then just orgasm as soon as we're finished with it.
nerdgasm.
It's gonna be a nerdy one for sure.
So
you
when
two
did
heard Kendrick before me. I was the last one to come into it.
Yeah. Besides Earl, Kendrick was the first rapper that I gravitated towards. I don't remember which one came first, Earl or Kendrick, but basically the one line I heard Good Kid, Mad City once, and that was it. Like the song, or Mad City rather. That one line. Warriors and Conans hope Euphoria can slow dance with society. The drivers see the first one to get killed. Mm-hmm. That was it for me. I'm like, all right, this is it.
There's something to it. Yeah.
I'm going into. I'm going to listen to this guy. I'm going to, dissect like what he's talking about, and like, because like that one line alone is just incredible. It's poetry, and so I got Good Kid, Mad City as quickly as I possibly could.
And when you cut that vinyl, I think I got it for you for your birthday or some shit.
Yeah.
And we didn't get a side A or B. We got 2 side C's and 2 side D's. So the vinyl was fucked up or misprint or something.
It was like a problem with manufacturing.
And we checked it all, and it was all fucked up.
The Sunrise Records days?
I think so. I think I got it at Sunrise. But the new one I got was at fucking Best Buy, which I'm like, they don't even have fucking vinyls, and I saw it there. Wow. I'm like, shit. Yeah. And we now have the proper version, but
yeah.
So first Kendrick Lamar song I heard was, I think, Swimming Pools.
That's a great one too.
Or like Backseat Freestyle, or like A Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe. So that was the era, and that was like new at the time.
Yeah.
And it was like back in the watching music video channel days, where it would just come up. And it was like this was when I was discovering a lot of different rap music. But it was more like melodic and complex than the other shit that I was listening to at the time. Like the Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe song like really goes places. It's not just a
it's not just a little pop track of
religious subtext to it and everything.
Yeah.
But it's still just kind of a song about like I'm drinking and I'm having fun. Like, so that's when he really captured lightning in a bottle with like, this has pop appeal and fits into an album that has deep like lore and
it's accessible,
writing.
But also if you really want to get into it, you have that option to go into it. Like it's
I
think that album probably remains his most
it's still
accessible and like
probably got the #1 spot in my book, but I can't really judge it like objectively because it's so nostalgic for me of being in high school, like late in high school, and like the album's themes being so much about adolescence and
hanging out with friends and
going
shit,
out and like messing around and getting in trouble and stuff.
Right.
Was kind of the whole point of that album, so like it really spoke to me at the time, and was just one of the ones that we had in the car, in like my homie's car, and then we would be like going out like getting high.
We'll see if we can do official rankings at the end after all this shit. We'll attempt it at least. But
what was the first album that you listened to? That's the same one?
No, I think actually it was Section 80 because I was late to you, and you guys were telling me both to listen to Kendrick Lamar, and I'm like, okay, if Josh is telling like this guy at this point, like he is like no. Maybe Earl at that point, but like again, so I'm like, okay, I gotta listen. And I think I started at the beginning, because I was back when I was doing my fucking mining shit, where I was going way into DatPiff and shit, trying to find like the oldest album of some of these rappers and trying to start from the very beginning and going. So I heard maybe Overly Dedicated first, maybe his mixtape from back in the day.
I've still never really listened to that.
There's a few good tracks. I think one of the first tracks I've heard was probably Average Joe, which was on there. And then if not that one, then Rigor Mortis, I remember that was the one that really hooked me though on Section 80, where he's just like rapping, he's just going off, and I'm like, okay, this is okay. Like at that point, I was already into Gambino and Chance, and like maybe Earl at that point as well. Kendrick, that Rigor Mortis song was crazy.
So Good Kid, Mad City was already out, but you went back.
I went back
before getting to it. Mm-hmm. Wow, okay. Because I listened to that.
I was back when I was super serious into this shit.
I went back and and heard Section 80, and then was pretty much along for the ride since then.
Right.
So let's maybe go into his discography a little bit.
Have you ever heard Section 80, Josh?
No, actually, I haven't.
Damn.
Not all the way through.
We should get a live reaction.
Yeah. People are going to crucify me for this, but I still haven't heard Damn all the way through either. I know the hits and stuff like that, like Loyalty and Love and DNA and all that stuff. Like the hits and stuff like that. But I haven't not heard it.
All right, well, if you want to do live reaction, Josh, listen to those albums.
Yes, indeed.
Check it out.
On his own channel.
Not on this one.
50K subscribers.
Man, Josh has been hoarding a 50K subscriber channel
By the way.
Stunting our growth for years.
Section 80 is like viewed more as an underrated classic.
Yeah, I still think it's a great album in the grand scheme
City.
of things. It might be my least favorite, but we'll get to that eventually. But no, it's pretty much strong all the way through. The only thing is, No Makeup and Tammy's Song. I don't really like those ones.
Yeah, I was just listening.
Some of
to
it's
it
been
today,
dated a little bit poorly as well, but
and I mean, it's like
the beats.
Kendrick is such a high level rapper that like he already kind of had it all figured out
At this
in
point.
2011.
Yeah, he was good. Yeah, but there's reasons. There's
He just
videos.
wasn't as like polished. You know?
There's reason. I think around that time, maybe even before Good Kid, Mad City came out, maybe it was just after. There's a video of like Kendrick up on stage with like Snoop Dogg and like Ice Cube and like The Game, a bunch of like West Coast legends. They kind of like passed him the torch in a way, like right there on stage. And I think it was around that time, so it's like he was already solidified in the grand scheme of things, but not in terms of popularity, obviously.
Yeah. The opening 3 tracks are like perfect in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I still play Hole Up on the regular.
Yeah, that's a great one.
Rigor Mortis is the song where he like shows that he's not fucking around when it comes to
he had the
rapping
horn beat and
fast.
shit, and just coming on. At that point, that was because I was into Logic, I think, as well. At that point, so I was more impressed with the fast shit. Right.
Yeah, this is definitely in like a specific type of hip hop fan of like the fast rapping.
Yeah.
Lyrical miracle shit.
Yeah, they wear those funny hats that Eminem wears too.
But I actually don't. Oh yeah, did you see that meme about like a guy that wears a hat like this and is gonna start rapping about pyramids?
Yeah.
It's like one of those like poet hats or whatever. Yeah. And there's a whole. You know, he touches on all like the societal issues. There's a song from like the perspective of. That tells a story of like a sex worker who like gets
lost her life and
who's like
Tammy's Song.
Yeah.
You know, she's like involved with like
evils or something like that.
With like a cop, and it's like it's like exposing how the LAPD actually does that too, like where they use the prostitutes and then like don't care when they get killed and shit.
Yeah, as a person who's very pro sex work, I really appreciated that song because it's just like I mean that really brought to light a lot of like the dark, like heinous shit that goes on.
And like this is one thing that I want to touch on, which is how like Kendrick is viewed, like everyone would agree that he's pretty much the number one conscious rapper in the game as far as like popularity and respect.
Yeah.
If you were to put those both into the stat, he would be like number one probably.
Yeah.
So he's like touched on pretty much every single societal issue like over time, and well, that's one of the things that you realize when you go through his whole discography.
He's been doing it the whole time, right?
But like the one thing about Section 80 is like it is a little bit sad, like it's downbeat and like
it
there's
is
not
very
really
jazz
that many
infused and shit. Like you can see, what he's trying to do. Yeah, it's a good precursor to Good Kid, Mad City for sure. I think I'm gonna be using this kind of shit later in the pod. Just like Section 80 is like a short film, and Good Kid, Mad City is like the film, like the thing.
Yeah, that's.
And I have different metaphors for the rest of them as we go, but Good Kid, Mad City, that was like I said before, that was the one that's like still probably his most popular. That's when maybe that's just because that's when he first hit and got really popular, so that's why I'm thinking that was like, I don't know, like numbers wise, I think Damn might have sold more, but either way,
it's got the most pop appeal because of Swimming Pools, Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe.
Even Damn has a lot of pop appeal.
Poetic Justice.
Yeah,
too. Damn had some
love
pop appeal too.
And loyalty and shit.
But it was more like Kendrick was a new thing to the game at that point in 2012, so it was more like
more exciting, I think.
Yeah, I don't know. It garnered more attention, I guess. Just the way it starts with Shireen, aka Master Splinter's daughter. The cinematic quality of that album.
Yeah, that's why it's like because I think he was supposed to have a short film to come out around it, and then it never dropped. And
I was actually talking about this with my one coworker about how, like, part of why that's my favorite one is because there's a concept, but you can still just enjoy it as a casual listener without getting too, like, hooked into the storyline that's told through all the different vocal skits throughout. You can kind of just enjoy them or not you don't necessarily. Whereas I feel like in some of his later projects, the concept takes more attention away, and it feels more like it's a musical or like a.
Yeah.
I have not listened to Pimp a Butterfly as much as I should because of that, because of the ending.
Yeah,
he keeps that.
I was listening to it.
I gotta keep listening.
The concept is a little bit more distracting.
Yeah.
From just enjoying it as a casual.
Yeah.
But like this one, Good Kid, Mad City is like the perfect for.
Yeah, because I was listening to Pimp a Butterfly on vinyl the other day down here, and I was talking to my girlfriend about it. And she was like, "What song should I listen to?" I'm like, "You can't just listen to one song on Pimp a Butterfly. It's a whole like it's really not that accessible." King Kunta, I said These Walls. I figured she would like that one. Like there are a few that kind of stand out, but there's no like pop really attempts on to Pimp a Butterfly. But that's getting too far ahead of ourselves in terms of talking about Good Kid, Mad City first.
Like, what else is there to say? It's just a classic album.
There's not a bad song. It's sequenced so well. I was a little bit, for a long time, I was confused because I had different versions of the album on my phone, whether, like, I didn't know me and Josh were talking about this the other day. I didn't know which song was the actual ending of it because there was the bonus tracks. And I was never sure which ones were I knew that there were bonus ones, but I didn't know which ones were the bonus ones.
I'm not sure why. Yeah, I was confused about why they called them bonus tracks when they're on the actual
like vinyl.
Yeah, I actually just realized like the other day that Compton is actually on the official album.
Yeah, that's the actual ending.
It's not a bonus track.
Yeah, that's why I always thought that too.
Because it has the vibe of a bonus track because it's like a restart at the beginning. It's all like restarting the fucking vibe again, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah, because the last 3 songs don't have like skits at the end of them.
Now or Never, the Mary J. Blige one is one of my like it's like a specific type of song that Kendrick never really did. Again.
Yeah, it sounds like an old school like
but that one is like
6-7 like kind of ballad like that, like the beat and the chorus mainly the Mary J. Blige shit.
But like that made me enjoy Mary J. Blige shit, which I probably wouldn't be exposed to otherwise. Like, and I was thinking also about how like Good Kid, Mad City, he balances the conscious rapper thing with also being like in the first half of the album. There's a lot more songs where he's being more problematic and being more like braggadocious and getting his shit off, but he's kind of doing it as the character.
Yeah.
Who's like has all that like toxic energy.
Yeah, and then you see how it actually.
So that's how he
unfolds
can get
like,
his real bars off, where he's like, you know, being vicious and like,
the
you know,
backseat freestyle where he's rapping like Eminem, almost,
talking about like fucking
complete biatch, like
fucking the world. Like I wish my dick was the size of the Eiffel Tower. Like
that's a very Eminem.
That's the kind of thing you wouldn't say like if you're keeping the conscious rapper like vibe on the whole time.
That also falls into the story because backseat freestyle follows the art of peer pressure. You know, it's like where he's talking,
and that's in the backseat. Like, that's
backseat is like, you know, I'm being this character. I'm being crazy because I'm with my friends, because I'm with the homies. Exactly. You know, it's like
it still makes sense within the album. Yeah, no, I agree.
With the homies.
And something I recently found out as well, that J-Rock verse on Money Trees, like probably his best verse, like such a great guest verse. And apparently it was ghostwritten by Kendrick. Kendrick wrote the verse for him. And I'm like, well, I guess it kind of makes sense that he hasn't really, to me at least, J-Rock hasn't touched that kind of a verse since, right? It was just kind of funny.
If he also wrote the King's Dead verse, then I guess I don't know any real J-Rock songs.
Yeah. He might have, actually. I'm not sure.
I bet he wrote his own verse on the Black Hippie remix of that one song.
And I think the WoW freestyle that they did. But it's just funny that happened, and then on Pimp a Butterfly, he's calling out sharing bars like a bought a bunk up a 2-man cell about the ghostwriting and shit. But he's ghostwriting for his homies to be on his album. It's kind of funny.
I think it's the matter of like
sharing bars,
of like,
and he's like in the crew. J-Rock is like that's part of that. Yeah. They're brothers. Like that's.
I mean, it's like
it makes more sense.
There's being ghost written for, and then there's ghost writing for somebody else.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like
it makes sense for your own album. You might want like.
I feel like ghost writing for somebody else is more respectable than being ghost written for. You know what I mean?
No, for sure.
Well, I think that's another thing that makes Good Kid, Mad City, like one of the like standard setters for the whole genre is that like he really takes center stage, and there are features and like lots of other great contributions, but it's really a Kendrick album.
Well, Kendrick really, I mean, Pimp a Butterfly had a lot of musical, like, you know, guest features and stuff like that, but the only other rap verse on that was Rhapsody. Like, he was rapping the entire time, the rest of that album. Like, so I think in Damn as well, there was only, Rihanna and Bono, like...
But it's just, well, this is just...
Kind of a trend.
Carrying on from our conversation from earlier today about how by the time you get to the Black Panther album, he's more trying to get into his collaborative game, you know, doing a song with The Weeknd and having a song with SZA and like... But okay, so just to finish off, any more thoughts on Good Kid, Mad City?
I mean, what can we say?
I
like,
mean,
it's come on,
too many, but you know what I mean. Like,
10-year anniversary was this year.
Every time I forget that there's actually a Drake verse on it.
Yeah.
Sing About Me, I'm Dying of Thirst is one of my favorite
rap songs of all time. Maybe like that's insane.
I was trying to explain to somebody the other day, no, you don't understand. We were in the back of the car and we were high as fuck, and we went through the car wash
with Sing About Me, Dying of Thirst.
With Sing About Me, I'm Dying of Thirst, with that like jazz shit playing in the background, and there's all these like colors.
Yeah.
I was like, this is a moment, guys. I'm gonna be talking about this on a podcast
10 years from now. Damn.
Not 10 years. Well,
it's been 10 years since the album dropped.
God damn.
We old, boy.
No, it was more like 9 or 8 years ago.
Yeah,
but anyway. Still a long time ago.
And just Sing About Me, Dying of Thirst in terms of just storytelling, it's just like peak hip hop storytelling, and like it's like, yeah, I don't know, it's a perfect song to me.
Comes back with To Pimp a Butterfly,
which is my favorite Kendrick album. I think that still stands pretty firm. Maybe one of my favorite albums of all time as well. I was listening to the other day, and I'm like, how can you, like, I was just like, how can anyone think this is bad? Like, I understand it's not for everyone, but like, if people say that it's bad, I'm like, no. Because there was someone in high school that I went to school with, and he said he didn't like this album. Like, he liked his preferred Kid Mad City or whatever. And I was talking to him about it, and he didn't have a good reason why he didn't like it, and I was just like, I was getting angry. I'm like, man, come on, there's so much to enjoy. Like, this is me being a rap nerd about this shit, though, at the end of the day, but still.
I remember reading something where Kendrick told Jay-Z, my next album, which would be To Pimp a Butterfly, I'm going to go to a complete left field. I'm going to go in a completely different direction. And Jay-Z was like, good. Like, keep your audience on their toes. Which I'm like,
I think I also remember a story around that time of he went to South Africa, and that was like what really inspired his trip, or the album. It's getting all those African sounds and African influences.
With To Pimp a Butterfly, I appreciated it more like years later when I listened to the Dissect podcast, where they went through all the
It's great
details about it
series,
and explained a lot more, and it kind of actually like made me enjoy it on a different level. But like when we get into our ranking of the album of Kendrick's albums overall, like, it's actually kind of lower on the list, even though it is still a great album.
Like, I don't think there's a bad Kendrick album.
Certain choices that are made that it ends up a little bit lower than the others, but like, I mean, it's so what else do you love about it? Like,
just we were talking about it before, and
like, what's different about it from Good Kid, Mad City that makes it such a big left turn?
Well, instrumentally, I think is one of the biggest ones for sure. The inclusion of Thundercat, I think, is also kind of underappreciated. He's on like half the songs. Like, he's only featured on like 2 or whatever, but he's only half the songs. And just like Good Kid, Mad City in Section 80, he talks about the society stuff, but kind of masked in his own kind of like influence and shit like that, and his own like
from his own
perspective.
Yeah,
but To Pimp a Butterfly, like, it's such a massive album in terms. Just there's so much there. Like, Good Kid, Mad City, you can listen to it 2 or 3 times and be like, okay, I understand probably most of this, 60%, 70% maybe. But again, To Pimp a Butterfly, when I listen to that Dissect podcast, after already listening to the album like 50 times or however many times, right? Even more than that, I was still learning things. I'm like, okay, like, this is I was talking about with Blonde as well. Like, I love the albums that I can listen to today and they still feel fresh, and I can still get something out of it rather than a pop song that came out 6 years ago. I'm like, all right, well, I've heard this one like 100 times. Like, it doesn't really have anything else for me, right?
It definitely has more of a jazz or 70s funk or Josh, how would you describe like sonically?
Definitely jazz funk.
With having like George Clinton on the first song, and like it's definitely more of a like tour around, like through like historical genres of music that like inspired a lot of like the birthplace of his whole geographical scene.
And the album itself is so varied, but still so cohesive, and still so we were talking about it before in terms of like it maybe isn't a handful, there isn't that many songs that you can listen to on its own, but like we're talking about albums, like straight album listening experiences. This one's the top of my list in terms of just front to back, just like overall, you know. Like Good Kid, Mad City probably has better songs, but Pimp a Butterfly is a better album. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, because for whatever reason, when I think about ranking them, I think about like in different contexts that I could throw this on in. And To Pimp a Butterfly
there's not
is
many
more
contexts,
of a,
no.
On your own.
It's perfect when I was just playing it down here on the vinyl on my own, just having a great time with it. Like, yeah, it's not one that you want to play at the parties. But that's the thing. Like, Kendrick was never like that to me. Like, I always have had that associated with Kendrick, where it's like, okay, you actually have to sit and think about it. We're talking about earlier today about like you wanted to talk about the different settings that you listen to Mr. Morale to. It was just me sitting in my bedroom, just looking at the wall, just thinking about the album. Like, I listened to it on Genius earlier today, just so I can get everything I can from it. But yeah, like I have to really like sit and think about. You don't want to really play it you can play some songs at a party, but like, you know, it's not really for that for me at least. That's why I was disappointed with the general reaction to this new album, was just because people were like, "Oh, there's no hits." I'm like, why are you looking to Kendrick then for hits? Like, you're really, like, sure, he's gonna get some hits, but like,
well, I take issue with that because I disagree with the statement that there's no hits.
There are hits on there, but he's just not trying as hard to promote it, and people are upset about that.
If you try really hard, I mean, I can put together a 5 or 6 song run of songs from the new album that would sound great on the to anybody.
Yeah, exactly.
But there's certain songs you would not want to play.
We'll get into it. But
I know exactly what you're talking about.
We should have a drink every time we say we'll get into it.
that's the title.
I remember going through, like, when this album first came out, I was going through a hard time just mentally, and the music video for I came on, and I watched it for the first time when I was going through a rough patch. Yeah. And just him screaming, I love myself, and it's just like, and it's like, say it with me, I love myself, and I'm like, I mean, that's...
You're muttering it along with your...
I love myself. And then I started saying, I love myself. I love myself.
I am ugly and I am proud.
Yeah,
I'm ugly and I'm proud.
Same energy.
Cut to the
So that's just like,
bit.
I mean, that's just like a personal story that I'm sure everybody has with this album or another Kendrick album.
And to wrap up with Pimp a Butterfly, just look at the track list here. Like there's not a single bad or dated song to me either. Like, Good Kid, Mad City, like maybe 1 or 2 of the bonus tracks I don't really fuck with as much, just because kind of production sounds a little like dated, like a little 2012-ish. But this one is still so fresh to me.
I kind of take a different favorite posture with To Pimp a Butterfly, where it's on the lower end of my favorites list.
We'll get into it.
And I'm getting into it right fucking now, okay? Just because I think that it's I don't know, the song, I like King Kunta, I like These Walls, I like All Right.
You're like Institutionalized? Wesley's Theory? Like, come on.
The songs are, you know, I like them in the context of listening to the album, but like, just if it comes on. Certain ones I really like, though.
None of these are skips to me.
You Ain't Gotta Lie, but I'm just thinking of more casual listening kind of...
that's fair.
Enjoyment of an album. But it's very hard to find like flaws in a Kendrick. Like,
I
just realized you put me in a pretty tough spot. Now I have to like defend my...
There's no bad Kendrick album. I think we can all say that pretty safely.
This dick ain't free. Like, that's a little bit... I don't want to hear that.
That one's probably the weakest, just because it's like, okay, but it makes so much sense in terms of the album, and it needs to be there. You is probably like... That's an insane one. That's like, there's certain songs that they end up in the Kendrick Lamar Hall of Fame for the most like crazy in one specific type of way. Like, that's probably his most emotional song, where he does the cry rapping thing, like to a T. Yeah. And there's, you know, multiple parts to the song, and it, you know, it's pretty much probably the most emo Kendrick
song ever made.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, probably. So once on a new one that could be maybe considered emo.
I don't think I actually... Okay, can we agree that hood politics is a little bit...
the whole...
Bobo.
Boo-boo.
Boo-boo. Bobo. Boo-boo. I never understood what he meant by that.
Josh asked that as well. He says, poo, I think it says boo-boo or something like that. It's just like shit. It just means like, I think, it just means like it's poo, it's doo-doo, but he's saying it in a different way. I think is another one of Kendrick's little, in his Kendrick lexicon.
Yeah.
He has a lot of little sayings he does, you know. Yeah, you're not going to persuade me on any of this. I'm fully in my... I'm cemented in my thinking.
Okay, but can you admit that the Black or the Berry, like... Sure, that it's like an energy track, but like... It's not really like...
No,
it doesn't really do it for me.
That's a fantastic song.
I don't agree with you at all. Do it for me. And the fact that they have like a whole live version of it...
The live version on the album isn't as good as the single version, I'll say that. The single version's better.
Okay.
But I understand what he did with I. And the Tupac thing can... maybe be a little bit cheesy in some people's eyes, but I think it's cool.
Okay, I understand. You're not moving from your...
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm good.
Untitled, Unmastered. Sort of an addendum. It's not really its own thing.
I can't really talk about any of the songs, because I don't remember... I never remember which one is which. I know 2 is the... Untitled 2 is... No, I don't even know. The first one starts with a dude having sex with a girl.
There's the Levitate one. There's
Levitate is number 7, I think.
Oh,
right?
yeah. The first song, it's like... That starts off with a...
The dude is moaning in a girl's ear.
A porn sketch, which is like... Come on, Kendrick. I'm trying to listen to this.
Yeah, it was kind of a... Yeah.
Trying to listen to that at
trying
work.
to jerk off to your album, Kendrick. What do you expect me to do?
It's like only Kendrick could like have like some like moaning on a track and intellectuals be like, what does it mean?
Yeah.
Well, Matt got a lot of moaning on his shit too.
Yeah, we're analyzing.
Usually at the end.
We're deeply analyzing some moaning shit.
Yeah.
Well,
that's the thing on the song "These Walls." You're not sure if you're hearing moaning or if that's a trumpet. And
they
kind of fuck around with
it's awesome
with your brain. Yeah, These Walls is like another thing about that is like that's kind of the perfect Kendrick song where there's 3 verses. They're all from different perspectives of somebody with like the same like lyrical concept.
It's what you want from a conscious rap song.
The walls mean like the prison, but also he's talking about like a vagina. You know, there's like you can just go on for hours like dissecting this shit.
That's why it's so fun to me. Yeah, it's just.
But it genuinely sounds good too. It's not just like
it's a funky.
It's not an essay.
Yeah,
you know.
In terms of Untitled Mastered, like it's still a great project, but it's just not. Yeah, like doesn't hit the same to me just because it's a little.
What did he mean when he said "head is the answer"?
That's the thing. It has to be. I was really listening on my re-listen the other day. I was really like into and like, okay, what could he possibly mean with "head is the answer"?
I think he was just fucking around.
I think he was just fucking around, and it does mean getting oral sex from a male or female. Is the answer, and that's destiny, and that's we should all be singing it in the audiences, and like I think because they had that one studio or the demo version on like track 7 or whatever where he was like doing it with the homies, and they were kind of laughing
he was just
about
coming
it
up with it on the spot.
And then at the very end, he's like, "Let me just lay this shit down," and then it seems like it's weird that we got that. It would have made more sense if we got it right after, like the actual track.
What, if we got head?
Well, yeah, in general. I think that's a general thing to say. Yeah, a generally okay thing to say.
It makes more sense to get head after you've already busted, right?
Yeah, right, guys? You're all with me here? Yeah? Okay, good.
I'm not having a conversation.
The song where... Another random category of song is the one about, like, I got my Bible in the trunk. You know that?
Yeah, like J-Rock or something on it too.
Yeah,
yeah.
That's like that's the perfect driving around in the rain.
Yeah.
Driving in the rain.
I was thinking that too.
While you're crying and you're drunk driving in the rain. Just because the jazz drums on it sounds like crashing rain kind of in a weird way. Like,
and it's still jazzy and still gives you that mood of just like that, just moodiness.
And it's a really sad kind of song. Yeah. Like he's at like an emotional his emotional peak. The other shit on the album is not really as much worth talking about.
There are
the
still
song
like
CeeLo Green.
Yeah. That's a great one. And Untitled '08 is a fantastic one as well. The one where I can't remember which one it is, like a, so what the black man say, what the Asians say kind of shit. A peace of mind, security, 995.
Yeah, but when I was re-listening to that, I was like, this is a little bit... I can understand why he didn't. This was cut from T-Pad.
I was really excited about it because I think he did a performance of that song on like Kimmel or something like that, and then I fully never expected to hear the studio version. And then I think it was like LeBron James who was like, Kendrick should do the whole album of just his unreleased shit, and then he did. At one point I was hoping like that other artists would hop onto that trend and start doing that, because while it's still like a good project by Kendrick and it's not bad by any means, there's still some great material on there. It's not really an album, it's not cohesive, it doesn't really have a theme or anything, it's just random tracks that are some of his best Lucy's, and I just wish other artists do that shit too, like, you know, other artists, great leaks that we haven't gotten. Imagine the amount of fucking songs, you know, like fucking Mac Miller, I have like 150 leaks on my phone just because of great music that never saw the light of day.
Did you hear that, Rap Game? Young Jizz wants you to leak.
I'm a felon.
Leak all over him. So Damn is kind of another left turn in a way, because I would say it's the more poppy...
It's his most poppy album.
But it's still kind of stripped down and downbeat.
It's still kind of punk, parts of it, you know. And there's still some classic
Kendrick
Kendrick on there.
His expression on the cover is like, you know...
He ain't nothing to fuck with, alright?
Like, he doesn't look in he's in a great mood.
Yeah,
and the music is kind of depressing for the most part.
Yeah, there are some ones that are, really do make you feel.
Other than like the big hits, pretty much every other song is kind of a sad song. Like,
yeah, Pride is very, like, that's a devastating song.
One of my favorite sad...
the guitar on
they should
that
do
shit.
An emo Kendrick
Lana
playlist.
Del Rey, yeah. Fear is one of his greatest songs, I think. I think that you can make a debate for that.
Lust
in terms of the
is
whole,
one of his favorite songs.
One of
my favorite songs of his.
In terms of talking about songs that have the perfect structure, and Fear, he was talking about what he feared at a 7-year-old, what he feared at a 17-year-old, and what he feared as a 27-year-old, and just seeing that perspective and just the growth there is yeah, come on, it's great. Alchemist Beat, come on, give it up.
Wait, Fear is Alchemist Beat. Wow, didn't know that. Love is the best poppy R&B Kendrick. I like that song a lot.
Yeah, I probably like that one more than Loyalty and God. I probably like that song more than God himself, just in general.
Yeah, God...
What's God done for us lately?
Yeah.
We out here starving.
Come on, God, drop
this was kind of it was the post-Trump...
This was his kind of response.
Kendrick's
just being like,
response
damn,
to the
Trump got elected. Yeah. I'm angsty. I'm punky. You know, but also doing the pop shit.
He kind of the world kind of needed somebody to articulate that for us all.
Because there are still some pretty heavy and like politically infused songs on Damn, but it's just not as much in the forefront. What do you think of the whole thing where he sold the physical copies of the album in the track list in reverse? Because that was like a whole thing of the album, was that it was supposed to be meant to listen to backwards.
I never really got into it.
Yeah, I never bought. I listened to it backwards, like maybe once or twice, and I would never think about buying the CD of it. I'm like, well, what's the point? Like, I don't know. It's the same album that I already have. Right?
This was 2017. People were still buying shit.
Yeah, well, it was on. I think it's on streaming too. Like, I think, but it's just. I just wanted to get your perspective on like how that was a thing. That was a case of Kendrick had made it this way. Some fan online pointed it out, and then he like agreed, or he was like, all right, yeah, you got me, type of thing. And
yeah, okay.
Like, it's a cool stunt, but like, does it enhance the album for you? Does it take it away from you? Does it do anything? Knowing that,
for me, the Damn album is more about like a time capsule of like his emotions at the time and the way the world was in 2017 specifically, where it's not like the concept of it doesn't really come together. And it's not as much in the forefront, so therefore doing a whole putting all the songs backwards.
It doesn't really
change the meaning really.
Yeah. That was the first album since To Pimp a Butterfly and Good Kid, Mad City, where it didn't really have an overarching plot. You know what I mean?
Well,
like,
Untitled Unmastered didn't either.
But that was like I consider
it had similar themes.
I consider Untitled Unmastered as
like
an extension of
To a Butterfly.
To a Butterfly.
Much similar to how we were saying Section 80 might be an extension to
Yeah.
Mad City.
So like
Just
they're
saying.
telling, it's like, you know, those two albums are telling a story. You know.
Damn was kind of more of a standalone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't really telling a story, except like all the.
Yeah.
The song at the end,
song
Duckworth,
Crazy.
had a cool story about how like, the whole origin of how his dad almost got killed or whatever.
By the guy who runs Top Dog, and how it would have been.
Right, yeah.
How they met up in the studio later on and then realized that was, that's how they know each other.
It was meant to be.
Crazy. And I'll try to keep up my analogies. To Pimp a Butterfly would be an essay. Like if Good Kid, Mad City is a movie, To Pimp a Butterfly is an essay. Untitled and Mastered is the fucking bibliography. And Damn, I'm not sure what Damn would be. I was thinking about that earlier today.
Damn is a graphic novel.
Graphic novel, that's a pretty good one. It's a pretty good one. And I think Mr. Morale is a play.
Even when you think Dan,
that's
what we'll get into it when we
DNA. DNA is kind of the kung fu, the most kung fu-ist.
Yeah, it's like a kung fu film,
Yeah. I mean, he was literally dressed up in like a...
doing that shit on Coachella stage.
Motherfuckers can't tell me nothing.
But honestly, when you listen to Humble, like sometimes you think like,
sometimes I don't
annoying.
like it. Yeah, sometimes I don't like it. And there are some. Yeah, God, I really liked it first, but I'm kind of about it now. And
ha ha.
Like it's fun, but it's not the best song on here.
Didn't you have some Kendrick thing as your bio on your Instagram page?
I don't know, bro. Maybe.
I pulled out, hop out, made it look sexy.
Yeah, I think
you definitely had that as your
something.
Okay, so we're pretty much at the last thing there is the Black Panther album,
which take it or leave it. I don't really consider it a Kendrick album. I didn't re-listen to it. I really only fuck with 6 of the tracks
King's
on there.
Dead.
So one with R.O.B., S.O.B. or whatever the fuck it's called is dope.
Ops on the Radar, You're Dead to Me.
The one with
so sick.
Absol and Anderson .Paak is great.
Okay, that's another thing I kind of wanted to get into was how when you start to get into Damn, like, you're saying about the fan theories about how if you play it backwards and all this shit. So, like, in hip-hop discourse world, like, the fan base of Kendrick is something that has sort of, like, impacted the music itself. Like
100%. He says it a few times. He says as much on Mr. Morale, I think.
But like, so there's the perception out there is that like, the typical backpack rap fan who disrespects all other forms of rap and says that, the only guy worth listening to is Kendrick and J. Cole and Joyner Lucas.
Yeah.
and
Yo Gotti as well for some reason.
Yeah. So, like, are Kendrick fans really that annoying? Or is it the dissect syndrome of, because there's so much multiple meanings to everything, that, this is what makes it good. That. When it's like, it doesn't necessarily, people are not necessarily going to like a song just because it has all this deep metaphorical context and subtext and all
I
this
think
shit.
In terms of the perspective of this album going into it, I think that's what people were expecting to an extent, just because he did it with Damn, and that was the most recent thing in their minds.
People got their dissecting.
Yeah,
like
they were ready to fucking go. The fork and knife, fucking ready to dissect that shit. But
there is a lot to dissect.
There obviously is, but it's before we get into it properly, it's probably his most straightforward album lyrically to me.
Yeah, I mean, I've been asking people like what they think it means. The title and the overall gist of the album, but it's not like a straightforward story where there's skits that like explain.
But in terms of like lyrical ability, a lot of it is him just saying shit and him just telling his story. There isn't
That's
as
what
much.
You mean by straightforward.
Yeah, there isn't as much like double or triple entendres in here where it's like I don't have many quotes written down of like crazy bars. Like I just have crazy moments of songs because like it's not really about. To me, the album isn't really isn't really about that, but we'll get into it.
But we also have, and we're going to get into this, but we also have some theories from the music analysis nerd factory.
Oh, for sure. I got
known
some
as
theories.
Twitter.com.
Yeah, I got some theories on this shit, for sure.
Okay, so initial thoughts on Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. It came out May
13th? 14th?
Yeah, it was Friday the 13th.
Yeah. I was sick as a dog.
I fell asleep earlier in the afternoon and then woke up kind of late and was like,
might as well listen.
Fuck it, I might as well just stay up till 12 o'clock and listen to it live.
Yeah.
And get the live reaction from the internet and the world. And I was blown away. But it was also very challenging, and there were parts, and I was getting a little tired, so I kind of wanted it to end. So certain tracks near the end of it, I didn't give the full attention until later listens.
Yeah. And just to say this while we're here, it's been like, what, 2-3 weeks since it's dropped? Our opinions are not cemented in stone. We've only listened to it maybe like 8 times-ish, maybe.
I've listened to it twice.
Yeah, I've listened to it maybe 6 or 7.
Yeah, I've been listening to it. I've been living with the album for a while.
Yeah, it's still relatively new in our brains, though, so we're not... Forgive us if we don't catch anything, if we're misinterpreting things. Like
by the time this comes out...
It's our reaction, it's our interpretation, so...
By the time this comes out, I'll probably have my opinions changed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like the internet already reacts to things 1 week, and it's already kind of out of the system, so
you can't honestly, like, have a concise reaction to this within a week. You know what I mean? Like, there's no way you can possibly have everything.
But I think even initial thoughts are valuable as well.
But even in general, I think it's at its core almost, it's kind of a divisive album. Like, I can see it being like, sure, like the first few weeks, it takes time for it to grow on people. But I think like,
but in the last episode, we were saying that right when it comes out, it receives universal praise because it's Kendrick Lamar.
Right, but it didn't really get universal praise though. Like from the big ups like Rolling Stone and that kind of shit. But like I saw some shit on Reddit and Twitter, some people calling it mid and shit. Like they do.
Yeah.
What I said before, Mr. Midder and the Big Floppers or something. I don't know, some shit like that.
That's pretty good. So like, what were your expectations going into it? Like I was, like eager to see what styles musically he went with.
Yeah, I just wanted to see what he did next, but I was in a weird case because I didn't listen to it till about a week after it came out because I was sick as fuck. And I talked about this on a previous podcast. But I waited, but I saw all the stuff on. I tried to not look at the stuff online, but come on. I looked at the shit online about what people were saying, and I was already kind of getting preconceived kind of thoughts in my head about what to think for the album, and I tried my best to kind of keep those away and try to think of it just objectively as I possibly can. I think I successfully did that after however many listens, right? But I was not disappointed whatsoever. I didn't have, like, crazy high expectations. I'm just like, it's Kendrick. I just know it's going to be... I don't have any doubt. Like, there's no... Like, I just know it's going to be a great album, and I'm going to get a lot from it, at the very least.
Yeah, I had the same thing as you, except, like, I didn't listen to it for about a week, simply because I was intimidated by it. And I'm like, I don't want... Like, this is going to be...
Intimidated by music.
This is going to be...
the Josh Peters story.
This is going to be required...
Have a little pussy prompt.
This is going to require effort, you know what I mean? Like, to like, really dig into. It's going to make my brain hurt.
Yeah, when I was doing the notes today, I had to take multiple breaks because I'm like, man, I gotta sit for a second, like,
so that's why I was putting it.
Not go too ham on this shit.
I don't want to go.
That's why I've been doing notes for a few days.
Yeah, I did it all today. My life, you know what I mean? Like, that's why I didn't want to go into it because I was intimidated. I don't want this to become a thing, like my entire life. So yeah, I did. I did get the discourse. I did get a little bit of the discourse.
Honestly, there was a couple of days of discourse surrounding him addressing LGBTQ rights issues, but that only really lasted for no one really got upset about it.
Yeah. In the meantime, I had avoided before my first listen. I had avoided all other Kendrick like the plague because I just wanted to judge this based on its own merits.
Mm-hmm. I mean, there was other songs that got lots of reaction, and it's still going through on hip hop Twitter, like certain songs that he things that he said,
and he has
it's Earl Sweatshirt is repeating a lot of stuff on his Twitter. At least he keeps joking about "Count Me Out."
And he's still doing the promo because I think there's some Spotify thing dropping like later this week, maybe drop by the time this drops. He's like a little documentary about him, like in Ghana, because he's been in Ghana for the past few weeks.
Excited to see that doc.
And the We Cry Together video is coming as well. I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think he's still in the tour. I mean, we should try to see him on tour, but it's gonna be like dumb expensive, like $400 nosebleed seats. I don't know.
I'm not even gonna bother trying.
I don't think we're ever gonna see Kendrick Lamar live unless we get rich.
So he said on his website, I spend most of my days with fleeting thoughts, writing, listening, collecting old beach cruisers. The morning rides keep me on a hill of silence. I go months without a phone. Love, loss, and grief have disturbed my comfort zone, but the glimmers of God speak through my music and family.
Amen.
So I kind of took a nut. I took a note from...
I took a nut about that one.
I took a note from Kendrick and didn't... really consume any of the reviews of the album, so I don't really know what the overall thoughts are of it.
Neither have I.
And I have been I've just been enjoying my early summer, and feel like, and I've been kind of living with this music a lot. So I have really only since I've been preparing for this podcast have I like realized that I actually have like lots of really positive feelings about this music that I've been listening to for a while now. But at first, like, I was very challenged by a lot of
for sure. I think that's the music. I think in general, that's probably most people's first impression.
Flirting with with contrarian opinions at first about like, oh damn, did he just really release a mid album and everyone's just either pretending to like it because he has so much clout and so much respect. Now I'm on the other side where when I see criticisms of it, I think this is.
You're wrong.
Of course, you have to say something because you're a critic. You have to come up with something, but it's perfect, you know?
Yeah. I didn't think at first that it was mid at all. I thought that some songs were like, I don't know if this is any good. I don't know if I like this very much. But those ones, for the most part, grew on me. But we'll get into it when we go track by track. Is there anything else we want to get off about the rollout of the album, our beginning feelings of it?
I wanted to see why did he have writer's block for so long, and what got him out of it, and like what, you know.
Well, I think he addresses it on the album. At least
these are just my anticipation thoughts that I had. Okay, do you have any more initial thoughts, or you want to just get into track by track?
Fuck, man, I think we're ready to just go for it.
Okay.
All right, guys, 57 minutes in. Put in your fucking seatbelts.
Hold on, I'm gonna go get a drink, and then
everyone do a stretch, do a breath. Is this how you stretch? I'm not entirely sure.
Cohesive.
Album of the year. Album of the year. Album of the year.
Greatest album of all time. Greatest album of all time.
Okay, llama. Okay, llama. Okay, llama. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby.
Damn it, you're stolen.
Yeah. One thing I wanted to mention is that, like, as far as early on listens to it, the immediate catchiness of certain Kendrick like hooks that have their own sort of meme value in a way. Even though he doesn't have a phone.
Yeah, it's true. He's opposite Baby Keem.
He still kind of creates memes just by saying, yeah baby.
Yeah, just or
other things like bitch I'm attractive.
Yeah.
Or
pushing these bitches on me like
yeah, that's great.
You ugly as fuck, you out of pocket.
Yeah. But I think, to me, there's a few songs on here that have that kind of sound to it. I'm like, that's really Baby Keem influence. Which something we should talk about before we go track by track is that our predictions for the album on the pod, I think we both said that Baby Keem was going to be on it, but we both hoped that there wouldn't be any really Baby Keem sounding song on it. But there are a few that do, for me at least, kind of sound like Baby Keem songs.
He's on two songs. Well, interlude is on.
But even songs that he isn't on, to me. But I think that is mainly because also the time those leaks came out of Kendrick Lamar writing J-Rock's verse on Money Trees, it came out that Kendrick Lamar wrote like a lot of Baby Keem's earlier songs as well, and kind of like maybe was the one to kind of formulate that sound for him, kind of thing. I think he also wrote 16 off the last album and like maybe one other one. So, the fact that Kendrick might, like, he in a way, he birthed Baby Keem, but, like, might be more than we actually think in terms of his sound and shit. Which makes me feel a little bit better with the kind of Baby Keem sounding inclusions on the album. But, I think we also said that Thundercat was going to be on the album. He's not.
No, he is.
Where is he on the album?
He is on the song Crown.
Oh, like doing the bass or doing background vocals?
vocals. Yeah.
Oh damn, I hadn't picked that up.
I can't please everybody.
And
it's like in the background with all the like.
Okay, I'll re-listen.
Singing. Shit. Yeah, that's it.
Again. Yeah, if you listen through.
Thundercat is on it.
And then we also said. I said that like
We
all
have
of Black
COVID
Hippie
bars.
is going to be on here.
Oh, yeah,
and I was completely. There's not a single, and like they didn't even promo it. Like they usually like all change their profile pictures to the person's album that just came out.
Yeah,
they didn't do any of that. He's fully off that shit. Like he's
no. I mean,
on
how
PG
weird
Lang.
would it be Schoolboy Q on a song?
On a song like
he's
that. Yeah, it doesn't really.
You know, doing his Schoolboy Q shit.
Yeah.
They're not in the same like world.
I would
musically
still
anymore.
love a remix, like an N95 maybe remix with the rest of the members on it or some
That would
shit.
be kind of
Like,
cool.
because they had the that part remix, the Black Hippie Crew.
Yeah.
You know, something like that. Is what it is. I think there's one other thing that we guessed right about it, like someone that was going to be on it. Well, we said Baby Keem was going to be on it, so.
It's like a pretty obvious guess for the conscious rapper, like the number one conscious rapper, is that, you know, he's going to have lyrics and bars where he, addresses COVID and other.
But he did
like,
it in a
world
tasteful
issues.
kind of way where, like, I don't even think he mentions COVID. Like, he doesn't say the
No, he
words.
doesn't.
Yeah, maybe like twice, but like in general, the other times that he talks about it, it's like has double meaning where it's not just him talking about COVID. You know what I'm saying? Similar to how Denzel Curry on his album, he talked about COVID, but not like directly. You know, which I fuck with more so than just saying it. You know,
the implications of it and the what's the word? The consequences of COVID more so than the actual thing itself.
Oh, we should also talk about Part 5 before we get into the album.
Well, it's on the
video.
Let's talk about it at the end because it's like it is actually on.
I don't like that though.
Yeah, putting it
like,
out beforehand and then putting it on
the end. I think it's just to boost streams. Like I don't like that. To me, it's a separate. I don't consider it on the album because it fucks up the whole double disc. Like 9 tracks on one, 9 tracks on the other. Like, I mean, it's a crazy.
Did we talk about it at all?
No, we're gonna save it for this episode. We can just get it out of the way now. Then.
I mean, it's just
in terms of the video and shit too. It was a crazy comeback to see the all the deep fake faces and shit. Was pretty crazy. Yeah. Who you got? You got Ye. You got Jussie Smollett. You got
OJ Simpson,
Will Smith,
Kobe, Will Smith, Nipsey. And the whole kind of third verse is all like in Nipsey's perspective, which is pretty dope. Talking about ideas that like it does set up the album a little bit, talking just ideas about culture and society and that kind of shit. Like there are some things that are linked from this song to the to Mr. Morale.
Yeah.
To me, it kind of stands aside from the whole album, but yeah, you know what I mean. Like,
I mean, in a way, yeah, that's kind of why I don't think it is well just tacked on at the end, right?
Yeah. Sorry, Josh. It was.
No, I was just thinking about how it's like that song was so important for people to hear because like stop glorifying violence and like he was just that's what Kendrick was saying on the Heart Part 5 was just like the you're talking about the culture of just like stop glorifying all these like all this murder and like drug trafficking and stuff like that. Like this like yeah, it's hard and it's might be cool for like a while, but like at the end of the day people are dying and shit, you know.
Yeah.
Well, I thought that was also kind of the social commentary of putting Will Smith on the thing of like
right around the slap, slap era.
Hurt people, hurt other people. I mean.
And the whole Nipsey thing.
Yeah, Nipsey and also
that ties into how like he is speaking from the perspective of one of his dead homies, and how I remember on Spin a Butterfly, Tupac says that at the end of Mortal Man. He's like, we're not really rapping, we're just speaking for our dead homies, which is like still a thing I think Kendrick that's still kind of important in his mind, and you still kind of hear that coming through in certain moments. Maybe not in this album. But in his music in general, that's been a thing.
The biggest theme overall of the album was generational trauma.
Yes.
And like getting over all the violence,
and mental health and growth, and that general
of the past.
Yeah, and trying to break those cycles, whatever the cycle may be, for sure.
So we figured it out. So give us our money.
End the podcast. Let's go.
So okay, I have been going through something. However many days.
It was exactly. I think it was exactly the amount of days since Damn had dropped. So he knew when he was going to drop it. And there's a lot of references on these songs that are like from the past like year or so. So like he's still working on this album like 6 months ago, maybe, like potentially.
Yeah, it feels like
there's certain references that are more.
It definitely feels
current.
like he spent years on this shit because
for sure. But also he had writer's block for a lot of it, so like, I'm sure for at least a year or two he wasn't writing shit, right?
Yeah. The first, I would say, like the first couple songs, he's really putting on like a rapping clinic. Like,
yeah,
those are the most rapidy rap kind of songs on the whole album.
Yeah, probably.
Where he's kind of like, okay, let me start this shit off with some.
Give people what they
some
want.
Energy.
Yeah.
Give them what they want.
Yeah.
Give them what they expect to a degree.
Exactly.
Like, the first song has a lot of different moments. Like,
Yeah.
musically. You know what I mean?
In terms of how it starts again,
Yeah,
the
beat
whole
switches, bars.
the first thing that you hear on the album is you're trying to find a peace of mind, which is what he's trying to do this entire album. He's just trying to get better and grow
Dealing
from
with
his trauma
his
and
success.
dealing with all the things in his life. And then the tap dancing element is introduced, which kind of leads me towards my theory of it, like this more being a play. How like there's some songs like "We Cry Together" is such a you could see that on a stage with like crazy choreography and shit. Like you can like certain songs you could just picture you're just in the fucking theater with them kind of thing. Like I think that's a huge element.
The piano for me on United in Grief, it to me foreshadows Mother I Sober. Like the
it has similar patterns.
Is there a similar pattern?
Okay, I hadn't
things.
Yeah, because I knew the
at least for a certain
Mother I Sober. Yeah, like the beginning piano. I remember hearing that like for the first time, maybe the second time. I'm like, that sounds familiar. It sounds like one of the other tracks. Yeah, maybe that's what it is.
The piano on Rich Interlude as well, kind of sounds like that. So there's a lot of
that kind of just piano driven,
natural
like,
musical.
Yeah. And that kind of piano heavy stuff, especially on the Rich Interlude, like that's another play song to me, where it's like, okay, here's Kodak's intermission / interlude kind of thing. Like, I think there's something to be said about it.
It's definitely in its play. I would go, it fits into the play thing also with the themes about therapy that he starts to get into on this song already, because it's kind of like, you know, the drama of the inner life that's being put out there on the stage.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that's really all he has to share with the world now that has his own family and he's like doesn't fuck around.
He really just has
social media at all. So
it's easily his most personal album, I think, in terms of what he talks about in general. And yeah, because he says there, or at the very beginning, it also says, "Tell them the truth," you know. Tell them that you're blank, and it cuts off. I think it's pedophile. I'm not. What do you? I mean, what do you guys think? I think what is he trying to hide, really? You know.
Tell them the truth.
Tell them you're white. This whole time.
Yeah.
And then he says he's talking about hiding something, which I think alludes to the infidelity, which is another huge theme on the whole album. Is what I assume, because then he opens up the verse with like talking about kind of man versus woman kind of shit of like what is a bitch in a miniskirt, what is a man with a, you know, like it kind of gets into those man versus woman themes already that also are throughout the album to me.
This is classic Kendrick writing, where the first song is all about asking rhetorical questions that then will be
addressed.
He's like laying the groundwork for exploring these ideas more. So I would also say that like a big theme on this album is like confessing his sins, like
it's a religious album,
criticizing himself before anyone even like gets to criticizing him, like
talking about how he can't even love himself in some of these songs. Like
he's almost annoyingly Christian on this album. Like it's like, come on, man, just chill. Like I'm sure you're a good guy. Like you don't have to feel bad
about every little thing that he's done.
Just because you fed your community, but you gave them
raw meat or some shit.
Popeye's chicken or something, and it was
that would have been dope if I got Popeye's chicken from Kendrick Lamar and Schoolboy Q.
I mean, we'll get into it.
When are we getting into any of it?
Drink.
Yeah. And at the end of this podcast, we will get into a hot tub,
okay,
a jacuzzi, and things will kind of get a little bit.
Stay tuned for that. Patreon only. Give us money.
We'll get into the drug business.
The beat switch is crazy. First song beat switch.
Yeah.
Similar to DNA to an extent, I suppose.
So introduces the tap dancing sound effects. To me, also, it kind of sounded like a guy running down a hallway.
At some points, I thought it sounded like fireworks, which I'm like,
okay. So we got some different theories going about like
or gunshot, or maybe not gunshots, but
At the end of this, we'll reveal all of our like theories on like who's Mr. Morale, who are the big steppers, what's the big step, like
separate page
what's the metaphor?
I got my theory page here.
Okay,
ready to go.
Did you write?
So stay tuned for
that. Say Orwell?
This is overall.
Oh, I thought you said Orwell.
Yeah, I'm getting pretty deep here, guys. So try to keep
Orwellian.
up. Try to keep up.
N95 track 2. We're
I don't know
early
if I'm
on
completely
in this.
done with United in Grief here. Well, we talked about how everyone grieves different in different ways in terms of like materialistic. He buys cars, and shit, and also in terms of infidelity, he fucks other bitches because he grieves different. Just kind of exploring his multiple sides of his kind
he
of
also says it in sort of
struggles.
a joking way where it's almost like this is just a cheap justification for anything.
Exactly. Yeah, he's kind of telling himself like, no, I grieve different. That's why I'm okay. Like I'm all right. I just grieve different. Like kind of trying to. Yeah.
As you're stealing, you got someone's wallet, and you're just stealing.
No, I just grieve different. Huh?
We're all united in grief here, buddy. You just fucking throw.
Crazy. Yeah. That's what you should have said to the guy that tried to fight you after the fucking shit. Hey, we're all united in grief here, buddy.
The
fucking Boston Bruins fan
hadn't even dropped at the point. I just somehow know
dropping knowledge. These Torontonians.
We need to move on because.
Okay. Well. Okay. Go ahead.
N95. Yeah. Hello, New World. We're back outside, but they still lied.
COVID? Yeah. But also, it's been 5 years since he's dropped. Like, it's a brand new... Like, even without COVID, it would have been a new world, I feel, to an extent, right?
Yeah. But this one, I feel like the sort of funny way that he sings it, hello, New World, hello, boys and girls. It's kind of like him, I think it's a little tongue-in-cheek of being like... Oh, here I am, fucking, Jesus Christ with a shooter, who I have to come back into the game and fucking
save you guys and
school everybody,
tell you how to think.
Because that's like the reaction is that everyone's dying for some music that has some like meaning and
that expectation on him has, I'm sure, weighed him down to an extent.
As it shows in many songs.
For sure.
Like in this one, he's just talking about the human condition for me. Like he's like, take away all this stuff. Like at least the first part of the first half of the song, he's just talking
take
about
away the Wi-Fi, take
away every. Like, there's a world outside the internet.
Take away the microwave memes. Oh my god, I love it. Shout out the microwave memes.
Yeah, just take away everything, and what do you have?
Yeah,
like,
you're ugly as
fuck.
Yeah,
you are ugly as fuck without it. And I think without the mask as well is what he's trying to say. Like. Taking it off, like, oh, you ugly as fuck. Like, no, I mean, go back in the mask. Like, it's kind of tongue-in-cheek still in a way, but also has meaning, which is what you kind of want in a Kendrick
take
song,
away all these material possessions, and you're not going to like what you see. So you need to work inward.
Yeah, I love the chorus of, you ugly as fuck. Out of pocket, yeah. It's great.
Just the fakeness of the world.
Yeah.
He's definitely on his 40-year-old man shit of like the no phone lifestyle, and like pretty much on every song he makes some kind of like, get rid of your Wi-Fi, get rid of your whatever.
But I think that plays into some aspects of the album. I mean, because that's just how he was feeling himself. He had to get away from all that shit to find himself and to better himself, and like mental health wise, I think it does make sense in terms of the album for
and I mean
for a running theme.
Using social media definitely much worse when you're famous because it's like
everybody's a critic.
You could sink so much more hours into that.
Like to me, the song it's still a very good song, but to me it sounds too much almost like a Baby Keem song for me to consider one of my favorites on the album. United in Grief, the intro, I have it star down here. I starred my favorite ones. United in Grief is one of my favorites. This one isn't as much just because I don't know. It's still, and the third verse is still it's still spitting hard as fuck. And like Baby Keem couldn't do these songs, but it still has that kind of sound that I wasn't really fully anticipating from a Kendrick album. I will say, seeing the video for the first time like an hour ago helped my improvement of the song. The video was so dope. How can it not? Like,
crazy.
This shit hard. It do be hard. It's probably this is like the one like banger I think.
Yeah, it wasn't one of my early favorites really.
Yeah.
But I think it's essential for listening to the album because it wakes you the fuck up and it gets
for sure.
Gets
yeah,
you
it's
ready.
A great second song for sure.
I was interested to see what the COVID politics aspect of the song would be. Just with it being called N95,
right?
And being sort of at this point, people are mentally trying to move on from the pandemic, so we don't even really want to get into even a political discourse anymore. But it's safe to say that you're allowed, you can express that there was a lot of inconsistencies with the way that government
of course
told us what to do, and they were completely, and then turned out that these types of masks weren't even really working the whole time, so we needed to, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, a whole lot of fuck shit went on the past few years for sure, that you could easily do a whole album about, but I'm glad he kind of did it sparingly.
There was the temptation to talk about it when it was happening, and but then the political climate was so much more like intense at the time that you wouldn't even want to hear about comment on it.
You don't want to be in the media. I remember like you didn't want it to be on the TV or anything. Like I want to watch some Seinfeld, some shit.
Also, like with the amount of like information constantly changing all the time, like you could
don't know what to believe.
You could have like egg on your face like within 5 minutes. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Not enough time to form a solid opinion before they fucking change up everything on you. You're like, oh shit, wait.
Yeah. Anyway, that shit hard.
Worldwide Steppers is another one of my favorite ones here. Very personal. He talks about his kids for, I think, the first time ever, I think. I don't think he mentioned it on Damn, really. And he doesn't really do interviews. Like, we knew he had kids, but this is the first time he's talking about them in a song. And you get the first inclusion of Kodak Black on here, where he pronounces it OK Llama, not Oklama, which I always thought it was Oklama, but it's OK Llama apparently.
Oh.
So, thoughts, concerns, questions?
I don't know. It means like my people or
in a certain language, which I think is a whole theme to the album where he's speaking. A lot of it is through his perspective, but he also is at the same time speaking through everyone in a sense and giving a whole society breakdown at the same time. Like he's talking about this. Similar to his previous albums, where it's like it's very personal, but also it could speak to anyone.
Yeah.
Oh, one last thing. God reference as well, like my people. He's a God figure in this album. Go ahead.
One thing about the N95 video is that him and Baby Keem kissing cousins, folks.
So,
is this on some George Michael and Maybe type?
I'll let infidelity slide. But incest that's not, I can't do that.
I looked into that one, and it's like in the bar about like selling my brother down the line or whatever. So it's like a Judas from the Bible reference, like he kisses Jesus like before he betrays him.
Maybe Keem knowing his bars better than he does, damn.
Yeah. Honestly, like this album being dripping with so much Christianity, like there was a lot of stuff that I was like, oh yeah. When I was
a lot of the Christian stuff.
When I was rap geniusing it, I was like, oh yeah, that's from Ephesians 6.
You get that sense. You know what you're getting into when you see the album cover.
Yeah, the crown of the kind of thorns.
Yeah,
for sure.
So yeah, Worldwide Steppers is like one of the best self-criticism type songs.
Yeah.
He gets. As far as like personal insight into his life about like interracial sex experiences that he's had in his life, and then feeling bad about it later on, like his ancestors are looking down on him.
Yeah,
like,
that's a crazy thing to think about. Like.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't have any perspective on this really, but
just saying.
I just thought it's just like how he like. Says it very bluntly too. Like I was 16 when I fucked a white
Copenhagen,
bitch. And then he's like on tour, reaping the benefits of his whole thing, and like, it is interesting to think about his conflicting thoughts that he had, and the fact that he's been in the same relationship with this Whitney woman like for
since high school
this whole time, but it's been sort of a
down low thing.
He like when he got famous, he was probably definitely
fucking bitches.
Yeah.
On this little hoe phase. That's fine. You're in your hoe phase. I had a hoe phase.
It's fine, guys.
Yeah, come on.
It's Pride Month. I remember last year we had a whole Pride Month bit, but now it's like
it's too Kendrick's
when we get
important.
to Auntie, we'll get to it. When we get to Auntie Diaries, we'll get to it.
Okay.
Okay.
He goes off on about how everyone's a killer, which. And that whole verse about like everyone's a slow killer, silent killer, but everyone like. This is killing this, and this is killing this in a way, and how that kind of might be reference to like the big steppers in a way. Like everyone's a killer, everyone's a big stepper, everyone is these people that are just doing their own thing and like don't care who's like in their way. In terms of the definition of big stepper, I think that's what it kind of means.
Yeah, I looked it up on Urban Dictionary, and it's kind of like someone who's sort of uncompromising and always trying to bite off more than they can chew, or like
Yeah, that makes sense.
Sort of has a chip on their shoulder, but everyone's kind of in that position where you have to, think about number one in the individualist capitalist world.
Yeah.
Other things from the song.
The ending bar
Dr.
of
Sebi.
the Dr. Sebi bar.
Like, so he kind of gets into his new age therapy bag a little bit about how he, cleansed his body of all his toxins and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But then, later on in the album, he's like expresses the limits to those types of holistic things, and like, with regard to getting the vaccine. He also says like I like his point of like we are the ones who killed freedom of speech because everyone's so sensitive.
Yeah.
Everyone acts like there's so many different ways of discussing the freedom of speech discourse, but there's this kind of way where people act like, oh well, the government, everyone's censoring me, everyone's taking my words away, but people need to realize their own sense of responsibility with that, where it's like, oh, if you say anything bad about me, I'm going to kill you. It's like, so you actually don't believe in freedom of speech then.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the thing that makes me climb up the fucking walls about that whole thing.
It's hypocrisy.
It's a complete hypocrisy, and it's like I don't know.
But it's like I really do believe in freedom of speech, but like not in the weird right wing crank way,
It's like freedom of speech for me, but not for you type of shit.
Yeah, and I don't believe in like freedom from consequences of your speech.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like talk shit, get hit, bro. Like
that's part of it, bro.
If you call me an asshole, I have the complete freedom to punch you in the face.
Word by Steppers, Beat Switch, another great beat switch. That's the last thing I'll say about that one.
Die Hard is one of my early faves as far as like radio likability.
That's probably my least fave on the whole thing. Unfortunately,
I love it.
Just because it's a little too, and that's like the one song that's like a little too poppy kind of thing. Like I don't think it's a bad song, but like if I were to rank them, it'd probably be lower. Okay. And also his raps on here like aren't like next level, He has shit to say, but like
it's more of a simple song. The lyrics are like, "Do you love me? Do you trust me?"
But I guess it's kind of the same as Love in that sense as well, where it's not that complicated of a song,
Yeah.
And I like Blast Confusion or Inclusion a lot, and what was the other singer on that?
I just wrote
Manda Reefer.
For the song I just wrote, Blast sounds like Kid Cudi. That's all I wrote.
Yeah, I can see that. I suppose.
Not really.
Some more timbre, perhaps.
Yeah,
I don't even know what timbre means. I'm sorry, guys.
Timbre.
I don't know. I'm trying to be Josh over here.
And there's a similar timpani.
And the tones.
Timpani's an instrument, you idiot.
That's like saying you blow my dick like a cello.
Yeah.
Okay, throwback to
that much
when we discussed Blast on.
Josh is furious
that
I messed up timbre.
I realized I'm not going to drink.
What were you gonna say? XXL freshman.
The XXL freshman.
When we predicted that Blast would be like the one to actually like, okay, he's actually good.
I actually went and listened to one song of each of these people.
I listened to the Blast dude because people on Reddit were saying like, oh, he's actually sick. And I'm like, yeah.
Blast with an X.
Yeah.
Such an annoying name. Because how are you supposed to pronounce it? Well
you
said that, so then now I know it.
Okay.
I was about to say Blixt.
Blixt.
But that guy was like, I watched his one video and I was like, I like his whole visual style and his flows and everything, but like,
I don't really see what's too unique.
I'm not really
him.
like that blown away by his lyrics or anything, but I was like, this guy's got a vibe. I like him. I like his part a lot.
Yeah. And he fits the song really well. Yeah.
That's one where I don't have much to say about it, other than the fact that it's just like right off the bat I was drawn in by it.
Well, this is the kind of first instance of Kendrick wanting to open, not necessarily doing it, but wanting to open up to his partner about his infidelity and like, will you still love me? Will you still be there for me? Will you still like hold me down? Type of thing.
Right.
Like, it's still a necessary track to the album, I think. But like,
I didn't pick up on as many of the infidelity themes.
Well, not referencing
it makes sense,
particularly, but like him being like, "Will you still love me this way? Will you still, that kind of thing?" I think is alluding to the infidelity and him wanting to express and be open with her, but not wanting to feel rejected by doing so.
I get emotional about life. I felt that bar.
Don't we all? Yeah, for sure.
I mean, what else would you get emotional about?
Yeah.
Death?
Fucking...
Taxes?
What's on cable
Gas
tonight?
prices?
Yeah, come on.
That's
Am
life.
I right?
That's life.
Next track, Father Time.
One of the best ones on here.
Yeah.
I think.
That's like one of that.
Come
Okay,
on,
we're
man.
getting into
the beat,
heavy shit.
The beat is probably the best beat on here too, I'd argue. Crazy production.
It starts off where he says, I come from a generation of home invasions. And it's like, it's got some like backwards singing.
Yeah, I think it's like maybe
shit.
the beat going backwards or some shit, and then it like...
It's on some
like that.
real like...
But even
you're entering
that,
the void type shit, and then it kicks into this.
But even before that, it starts with Whitney telling him to go to therapy and shit.
Yeah,
which I think plays into Die Hard being the song beforehand in terms of like the album is really well sequenced and tells a whole story to me. Because Die Hard is him like flirting with the idea of telling his wife about his infidelity, and then now like he's told her and he's like, you need to go to therapy. Like you're not like, maybe he hasn't told her quite yet, but like she knows something's up, and he doesn't talk to her about it. Like.
Well, I didn't put that together. But yeah, it
could tie in together.
Good
more
theory.
Tap dancing as well.
More tap dancing. More talking about like this is the example of what you said about the album is about breaking generational trauma. This is a prime example.
And daddy issues, toxic masculinity, a bunch of shit like that.
In a weird way, it's one of the best songs on first listen, but also has so much of the metaphorical meaning of the whole album like wrapped up in it.
Yeah, for sure.
About fatherhood.
But it stands as well on its own, you know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. About, being a man and like toxic masculinity and
how fragile your sense of yourself as a man is, like, and how we... That's kind of my overall theory about the big steppers and the whole tap dancing thing is like the dance that we're engaged in, like the metaphorical dance of, your dad treats you like shit, and then you treat your son like shit, or like.
And he's trying to be the moral
process.
One and trying to
you're in a dance, like we're all doing things to each other and ending up like different people in the end.
So maybe we're all the big steppers, and he's Mr. Morale in a way. I don't know.
The Mr. Morale is Jesus, I think, but that's just because the Christianity got so much. Or Mr. Morale is like Jesus. The idea of creating a savior or something to look up to, like
I think Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers is the two sides of the same coin of Kendrick, where sometimes he's Mr. Morale and sometimes he's a big stepper and is involved with his past and shit like that, and like has those ways, but now he's trying to get better, and like Mr. Morale. I mean, the sides wouldn't make sense because I think the first side is Mr. Morale, where he's still like kind of on his, talking about fucking bitches shit. And the second half is much more emotional in him opening up. But that leads to a later theory that I'm going to get into at some point. Everyone take a drink. God damn it.
I need to get another drink.
Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers is just another name for Jesus and his disciples.
Yes. That's good.
Could be. But he's not our savior. So how is he Jesus?
That's the thing. You gotta look inside and find the real savior.
Oh, God. Okay,
Sampha's contribution.
Yeah, love it.
Early morning, wake up.
Love it. The bar, when Kanye got back with Drake, I was slightly confused. I guess I'm not as mature as I thought. Got some healing to do. Like, that happened in, like, October, November of this year. So that's, like, must be a new inclusion.
I like that. The inclusion of that because it's, like, he's not on his phone, so he shouldn't technically know about this stuff. Yeah. But that was so big that
he had to... Because he's tight with
and he's also
Kanye.
Been in a feud with Drake before in his career. So it ties into the whole smoking on top fives thing as well.
Yeah, and just also in terms of like how he was brought up and like not trusting anyone and thinking some people's motivations are a little bit suspect, and like so like when I see that I don't really trust that. Like what's a man, like what's in terms of being a man, like no, you shouldn't, like that's your op, like you should like that's kind of how he was raised in a way.
Trying to break out of that.
Yeah.
I screenshotted the lyric from that thing of when he gets into the flow of like egotistic zero giving fucks, and to be specific need assistance with the way I was brought up. What's the difference when your heart is made of stone and your mind is made of gold and your tongue is made of sword, but it may weaken your soul.
Yeah, come on.
I like that part a lot. He really He really finds a pocket there, and is just like preaching from the
saying
pulpit
earlier that this might be his most simplistic album lyrically, or his most straightforward album lyrically. It doesn't mean that there's still not great lyrics in here, and there's still a lot I haven't even scratched the surface of. Like, I'm sure shit is, going by my head, right?
I know it is.
I'm just saying, like, it's not necessarily like a To Pimp a Butterfly where it's like, okay, well, there's like 6 different meanings here, like each song kind of, like, it's not, I don't think it's as deep necessarily.
Man, that made me think about the Kanye and Drake thing also, because they are both fathers as well.
Yeah.
And the beef had to do with Drake's fatherhood as well.
Yeah.
And Pusha T, like,
yeah, for sure.
And so that's all these like
fathers just getting
successful black men who have like got out of their circumstances that they grew up with, but they're still repeating the traumas of the past and like getting into these fights with other men.
Yeah.
Totally unnecessarily, to the point where they're posting each other's like
locations
addresses and shit.
Some crazy shit.
But they managed to patch it up, which is like kind of an interesting outcome.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to hear Kendrick's sort of angle on it.
Yeah.
Because they're always in the conversation.
For sure. And I love the last bar as well. After saying all this kind of stuff, till then, let's give the woman a break. It's grown men with daddy issues, like in terms of the whole man versus woman thing, and how like he's been kind of shitty to his fiance at this point. Yeah. Being like, at this point, like, no, like, this is on me. Like, he's owning up, like, no, this is a man problem. This is not her problem. Like, this is me recognizing that I have some trauma that I have to deal with.
Because daddy issues have become such like a female identified thing that it's like, no, like, daddy issues are with men and they're fucked up. Like, they fuck you up, you know what I mean? Like, it's not just women dealing with it.
And the whole song being called Father Time, in terms of like that, like, just is perfect. It makes perfect sense in terms of the whole thing. How it's a generational thing. It's over time this happens. Like, it's not like an overnight thing. Like,
One thing I wrote down was my life is a plot twisted from directions that I can't see. So, another theme of like therapy and how he like
feels powerless. I think.
Now that he has the time to like reflect on his life, like he can see how things could have gone a way different direction and you would have ended up like down a different pathway.
For sure.
And just being able to like zoom out and see that.
Yeah.
And like, oh shit, I might have ended up this way because of some shit that happened in my
past.
Yeah. And that's the only way of actually moving on from these things is by like directly addressing them.
Exactly.
It's therapy.
Rich interlude.
With Kodak Black. Okay, do we want to get into his inclusion on the album now, or when he's on an actual...
I think he addresses it in the interlude. The only thing I wrote for this interlude, for this thing, is unnecessary. Because I didn't think... I
think Kodak's inclusion as a whole might not be necessary, but the fact that he's in here makes this song necessary. You know what I'm saying? Like, if he was just on Silent Hill and didn't have his own thing and wasn't talking throughout the album, then it would be, okay, what is this random feature? But like, I think it's a theme to the album.
I think that let's talk about it. Let's get into it.
He says it on the interludes. Like, what are you doing with Kendrick? What are you doing with the GOAT? It's like, well, who are you? And I'm like, fair enough. Like, but at the same time, it's like.
That's what I thought was dope about it, though, was that he was addressing the fact that, you think, like, it's kind of, like, subtly racist in a way to be like, oh, no, Kendrick, he's one of the good ones. Like, he shouldn't be hanging out with Kodak Black, a guy who went to jail.
Yeah, the whole pitting black people against each other, which they get into throughout the album as well.
And Kendrick kind of coming at it from the perspective of, like, look, he's more like the people that I grew up with, more like what I actually know.
Yeah,
then like all
this
these cul-de-sac
in terms of the perspective,
people,
in terms of like where he could have ended up. Kendrick could have ended up as Kodak Black easily in terms of like his life choices and stuff. I feel not easily, but like I'm sure he thinks that way. That's why he's included on the album. They're almost like I said earlier, like two sides of the same coin in terms of they grew up with the exact, not maybe exact, but like very similar
like circumstances,
but they were both in kind of completely opposite directions of hip hop. But that's why he kind of brought him in here to show the other side of the coin and to show like what it could have happened and shit like that. I think that's mainly why I justify his shit, because he's a terrible person. He's a rapist.
Yeah.
But
I know I haven't done the math into that one. But I didn't like read into like what Kodak
he's straight
has
up.
done.
No, he's a piece of shit. But
But the album is also about trying to undo all this like sexual violence shit. Yeah. So
and
it's
at
like,
one point in the
you
album,
need to be able to play around with some people that might have done.
And at one point in the album, Kendrick frees
the
the abusers, if you will. So like, it's like it makes sense though. Like, you know,
like,
you might not like it, but I think it makes sense of what he's trying to say.
I'm never gonna justify rape whatsoever.
What? I thought this was the justifying rape podcast.
Episode 20 or whatever. Never gonna justify it whatsoever. He did come right after, Father Time, which is all about daddy issues and generational trauma and stuff like that. I don't know Kodak Black's backstory. I just know that he raped someone, and that's completely inexcusable. But I don't know where he came from, so that could just be a product of,
I mean, I know it was like semi fucked up circumstances. I don't know the details, but I'm assuming that's why he's on here, is because that's part of his inclusion. And also the fact of like how Kendrick is saying on the album, he's like, I'm not your savior, he's not your savior, he's not your savior, and like having Kodak Black here is like, okay, he's not your savior either. Like it's the same thing. Like you shouldn't be looking up at these people as heroes necessarily, kind of thing. Yeah.
I remember just
not to idolize someone that you don't know.
Since we're on the subject, I was going to bring this up later, but since we're on the subject, I remember
let's get into it.
Somebody Dom McLennan posted on Twitter right around the time this discourse was coming out. I wanted to preface this by saying this is not I'm not saying this because Dom said it, because I'm a Dom stan or anything like that, but he just summed it up. He summed it up pretty well, and I'm not going to let this completely define my viewpoint, but I do think he said something pretty succinct, which is, good art makes you think, can be about terrible things, terrible people, and do and say terrible shit in the process of telling the story of people in general. Yep. I'd like to think that a lot of the stuff on this project isn't written to be agreed with, but it's meant to be overstood.
Yeah, and I think that's the case with Auntie Diary specifically, if you're going to pick a song that is kind of about that, in terms of like, it's teaching someone a lesson. It's might not be what you want to hear, but it's necessary, I think. But we'll get into all that shit later.
Yeah. I think that's what Kodak Black is doing on this. It's about, it needs to include terrible people in order to tell the story of people. You know what I mean? You can't just say this is a story of people and they're all good people who've never done anything bad in their entire lives. That's not a reflection of humanity.
Yeah, and I thought, linking back to the Rich interlude, with the Kodak rapping, the way he's rapping about his come up and kind of about like the ice and the and bitches and shit like that, with kind of piano, almost like if this was a play, this might be like a villain arc. Like he might be the villain in this circumstance. Right. Like this is the person you're supposed to antagonize.
That makes sense.
I think there's something to that potentially, but just throwing shit at the wall here still. So
yeah, I mean, I think that the inclusion of him as more of a gangster rapper, plays into the theme throughout of the dichotomy of I got it out of the mud, I'm out of the hood now, which is bound to involve alienating myself from my community to some degree, and then when you have success you feel guilty about it and you feel well, fuck,
I'm sure they
people I actually relate to are not around anymore. Half of them are dead, or the other ones are in jail. And all that shit.
But for sure.
So it's valuable in that term, but as a song, as just a piece of music, I don't really like it. I don't really like either of the interludes that much. I don't actually.
Baby Keem's is better than
I don't know
Kodak
I don't know what it's doing on a Kendrick album. You know what I mean? I don't know I haven't figured out what the purpose of
I think that's what we were talking about, though.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's until you said, maybe it's an interlude about, the villain,
or just giving, it's different perspective.
No, we have theories about the meaning, but just to express that,
in terms of piece of music,
I don't actually like the music that much.
Yeah, that's fine. But I understand why it's there to an extent. Maybe I don't understand fully, but I have theories of why he's on here, so I'm not really mad at it, you know.
Yeah. That's why I wrote unnecessary.
We'll talk about it more when we get to Silent Hill, but let's just go on to Rich Spirit, which is another one of my early faves.
Me too. Great song. Bitch, I'm attractive.
To me, that's an R&B parody.
Yeah.
It feels like parodying.
It's tongue in cheek.
Yeah, stop playing me before I turn you to a song.
Also another
every R&B song ever.
But also kind of another Baby Keem influence track. Maybe not as much as N95 to me, but the chorus specifically, the whole "bitch, I'm attracted," like that whole, I can hear him. I can hear Baby Keem.
Yeah, but it'll be like higher pitch.
Yeah, but I could hear the chorus being Keem. The rest of it not as much, so I don't mind it in terms of that sense. But
yeah, I like how he sort of accidentally wrote a self-esteem anthem that you can look in the mirror and say, "Ooh, bitch, I'm attractive."
Can't fuck with you no more. I'm fast than
Yeah.
Well, what's the beginning of the chorus again? Something broke phone. What does he say?
Yeah.
Rich Spirit broke phone. The whole kind of and a lot of that song is about balancing, like being famous and still trying to keep in touch with your humanity, and how kind of technology kind of puts a wedge in that. At least that's what I think of it to an extent. But there isn't like too much to it other than that, I don't think.
Spirituality in general. Yeah. Some of the lyrics that I liked were the one about thoughts and prayers.
Yes, I wrote that down.
Way better off of timelines.
Yes, yeah.
Especially
if you're actually gonna do if you're gonna do thoughts and prayers, just actually think and pray. Don't do the.
Is this the one with the black feed timeline, or is that a different song?
The what?
The whole people putting their Instagram things in black squares.
Yes,
storage forward. Is that this song, or I had it written down somewhere?
I think a little bit
be a different
later
one.
on. I'm not sure.
But similar kind of meaning behind that. If you have notable bars,
I think that was from the song "Savior." Honestly.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't remember.
And he says here, and my cousin tried to sue me like he got the privilege. Keem wouldn't sue him, would he?
He's got more cousins. I assume.
Yeah, obviously.
He was fucking on who?
Yeah, yeah. Like how many? Every time they mention cousin, I'm always like, is it Keem that they're talking about here? Like,
I thought he was I thought it was nephew, not his cousin. You know? Isn't it Unc Few?
What? That's Takeoff and what? No, because I thought
it was Uncle.
His actual cousin was Baby Keem's mother, but that doesn't make him the nephew. It would have to be his sister's son to be a nephew. You know what I'm saying?
Well, my brother once removed, my cousin once removed.
Yeah, its cousin was removed. Yeah,
that doesn't fit into the rhyme scheme.
Yeah,
so.
Unfortunately, yeah, no. He brought back the brother flow, which I enjoyed pretty heavily.
That's what I was going to say.
I'm going to start calling it the Hulk Hogan flow, I think. Always saying brother.
Brother.
Yeah.
Brother.
Good one.
Yeah. Yeah, because that was probably one that, came out during the same time as he was making Range Brothers.
Yeah.
With Baby Keem. And
there's one song on here that was a leak around that era. It was supposed to be on a Baby Keem project, but there's a few bars that survived to this album, but
which is apparently like a California accent from a specific
the whole brother thing.
Yeah, just kind of the way he talks, that when he says brother like that is sort of a amazing.
I can see
brother.
That. Yeah. Another bar here. Pray to God you realize the entourage is dead. Could be a TDE reference, perhaps. Black Hippie, him finally.
Yeah.
Moving on from that, I don't know what else to really think of it. I don't want to be putting words in anyone's mouth, but because maybe they're still cool, but I don't know, right?
All right, next track, "We Cry Together."
All right, boys, got Kleenex on tap. We're about to cry together, guys.
Next track, "We Cry Together."
All right, what are you guys thinking of to cry?
Let's fight.
What are you guys thinking of to cry?
Fuck you, bitch!
Fuck you, bitch! Fuck you, bitch! Some bullshit. Where are your keys? I can steal your keys, bitch. Oh, you mad at me? You mad at me?
Fake feminist. Fake innocent.
You loose. You are loose, homie.
I should have fucked your cousin.
Huh? The fuck you say?
I said I should have found a bigger dick.
Oh, God. So many quotables on this one, boys.
The entire time I heard this, I'm like, I don't think I should be listening to this.
Another one of my favorite songs.
You're the reason Harvey Weinstein has a small penis.
Another one of my favorite songs, even though it might be a hot take, because like, I mean, in the context of the album, it makes a lot of sense. But like, it's not really a good thing to listen to, you know, almost like, I don't know.
I don't want to be listening to like.
But I think it's great. I think it's beautiful though.
It's a standout track.
Yeah, standout.
No matter how you cut it, you know.
At the beginning, it says, "This is what the world sounds like."
Yeah, exactly.
This is what the world is like. It's like this is completely unfiltered.
Yeah.
Like you want some like real shit. This is like real shit.
The song goes places.
Yeah.
So basically, to explain, you know, it's an argument between a dysfunctional couple.
I think it's supposed to kind of represent to me Kendrick and Whitney, like an argument that they would have at some point.
I think it's issues in a specific,
but also it's a general,
but also men versus women issues,
which is what
in
he's doing on this whole album, is giving both perspectives, which is so great.
Yeah, I think I like how it goes into the specifics of things like, you know, I know when you're being fake distant, when you're being fake busy.
Yeah,
I know, don't hit me with your reverse psychology and your mind games. It's all ego. It's all, you know, like Taylor Page, who's like an actress who does the female side of the argument.
Job.
She does what?
She does a fantastic job, I said.
She's not a rapper. I think she's an actress who like just does a really great
I thought you said
job.
like she does. I thought you were referring to a role that she played, and I didn't know. I didn't hear.
No,
it.
I'm
just saying she does a good. In the role of this song, this
is fantastic.
This is where I feel you with that play shit, where like the storytelling, it's characters, acting.
You could see this. I visualize this song every time I hear it. And by the way, I've heard this song twice on the radio. So, I don't know, everyone's like, this is one that scares the bitches away, this is the Earl Sweatshirt type song.
Imagine playing this song
everyone's like, oh, it's in the club.
I played this song at work.
Yeah, see, that's a good move. We should be playing
just
it more.
To get a reaction.
Exactly.
But it was a room with only a few people, and one of the person I already showed them the song and was like, yo, you would like this.
Right. But still a crazy move to put it on the airwaves. But.
Yeah. A little crazy. If you're ever playing this album, like, just at the cookout, I would maybe
put this one off the playlist.
Press skip.
And my buddy Hayden, we were talking about this album, and he said at first he thought it was when he was talking to me, he's like, I even like that interlude. I'm like, which one? It's like the one where they're arguing and stuff. I'm like, that's not an interlude. That's the whole ass.
It's like
song.
A 6-minute song.
Yeah, like it's not like, I guess in a way it's an interlude, but like to an extent, but like it's also it's a full song with a great Alchemist beat, by the way. But sounds like you hear it, you're just like, oh, Griselda would go off on this shit.
It's kind of like, it's taking
Griselda.
It's taking an Alchemist type beat like out of its context, and actually like adding so much.
There's a lot more layers to it, obviously.
When I first heard it, it gave me a it's reminiscent of the song Kim by.
I wrote that down too. Yeah, for sure.
Which I don't know if you guys heard that like way before. But that one is legitimately unpleasant to listen to.
No, you can't listen to that one. No.
It's just like, bitch, fuck!
Yeah, no, it's,
Yeah, I had to kill you because you cheated on me!
Yeah, no.
This one at least has both sides going for it, you know what I mean? Like, both sides get
in the other one, Eminem raps the female part himself, but like in a girl voice.
Right.
It's more comedic. Yeah. There's a chorus where he's like, so long that you did me so wrong.
Yeah.
It's kind of good in a way,
but also it's
also the worst thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, it's really unpleasant. I mean, people can argue about this song is unpleasant, but like to me,
this song you can still hear it. Like, really, there's the part where they exchange their fuck yous back and forth, which is like musically not, super compelling. Like,
repetitive,
but the rest of it is rapping on beat. Like, it's just in a
talk kind of, which is interesting. Like, it's an interesting way to perform a song.
Yeah,
for sure.
I have lots of positive things to say about the song. Though that being said, it's a specific context only.
Also, there's a Florence and the Machine sample at the very beginning. I just wanted to throw that out there.
Like, what do you think about, like, the disc... Did you see lots of discourse about this song, specifically?
Not too much on this one, actually. I heard more about Anti-Diaries.
I would say that the...
People were just saying, this is like, you don't play this in the club, like those kind of jokes,
Well, kind of like, if you relate to this, like, if you're in a relationship like this, that's not a good... not a good sign about you.
Yeah, sure.
But I think the fact that the climax of the song is that they, the fuck yous quickly turn into fuck me's.
Fuck you, and then they
maybe that was funny.
And by the end of it, they
end up fucking.
By the end of it, and then it cuts to the tap dancing.
Which to me, this is where it sounds like fireworks to me, because like they're making fireworks, but also it's tap dancing. That's why.
But I feel like that justifies the choices of going so violent with it. Is by the end of it, they kiss and make up by the end of the song. So it's kind of like,
it's not just a completely.
Were they even being serious for the fight?
And they spitting like, you must be bleeding in some shit.
Yeah, they reference R. Kelly, Harvey Weinstein.
You still listen to their music. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, it's like you're
hypocrite.
It's like you can't see what you're the reason why R. Kelly doesn't realize he's abusive. It's like, bitch, you still listen to his music.
You're the reason for Trump. That's a great one.
Like, what?
You're the reason for Trump. What? If my girl, me and her were in an argument, and she was like, "You're the reason for Trump," I'm like,
I'm walking.
You must be bleeding and shit.
It's like, stop tap dancing around.
I can't wait to get into an argument with my girlfriend so I could just recite this song. And it's just me doing both back and forth to myself. And she's like, I'm calling the mental hospital.
You're the reason I'm undercooked,
underpaid,
underbaked. It's like, are you complaining about the food or our relationship? I don't even know anymore, bitch.
I should have sucked a bigger dick. Wait, what? I don't know. The whole refrain of little dick ass dude that's trying to go big should have found a bigger dick. He steals her keys. I'd like the pussy ain't loose. I'd rather act like I'm coming. I'd rather fuck off the juice. I'd rather fuck on your cousin. That's like ugh. That's nasty shit right there.
God. My God.
By the time you've heard it a couple times, it
wears off a little bit.
It becomes a funny novelty.
But if we're hanging out after this, I might be skipping this song. But like, it's still a worthwhile piece of music, and it makes sense for the album, and I enjoy it. And it's a standout track.
Okay, so stop getting mad at me for playing it at work, guys.
What do you think about the line?
If you're my HR representative right now, like, I'm sorry, but
what do you think about the line? Women in general can't get along. Because
facts.
He had some points to bring, but like the whole thing of like. R&B features don't feature on each other's songs or whatever, and she's like, "What?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that's not true." Yeah,
that's not
there's a lot of R&B and rap
I think it is like a historical issue overall, but some of the big R&B stars, like
Minaj and Doja Cat,
you never got to see them on a song
like,
together because they had some stupid beef.
I don't think in general
they both make general points that are made a lot in male versus female discourse that have a kernel of truth to them, but there's also a complete exaggeration.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But in my experience, sometimes like I find that my bros, like, sometimes we butt heads on things, but for the most part, everyone can just be chill.
Yeah.
And women seem to talk more bad about each other behind their backs.
Yeah.
But that's just this is. Don't
no,
cancel
you
me.
spitting. No, you spitting.
I mean, because that's the thing. It's that it's good to have these kind of conversations because
bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks.
Exactly.
That's the whole theme of the album.
In my experience, I've never really experienced that. I've had many. Like,
honestly, men are more bitches these days anyway. Right?
Whenever my girlfriend is like, you don't like, what's new with Alex or whatever, I'm like, I don't know, we don't really talk about that kind of shit. And it's like, why don't you don't tell, and like she's surprised that I don't like gossip and shit. I'm just like, that's not a guy relation.
I don't talk negatively about my friends.
Yeah, they're my friends.
We need a woman in here to
bitches be bitches to each other sometimes.
To make her point, because
right now. Want me to call Morgan?
Yeah, okay. Why are you a fake feminist and you're fake innocent? Yeah.
For calling somebody fake innocent is crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I think they both make some points.
They both go off.
Yeah, I mean, like, it makes, like...
but boys rule and girls drool. That's my opinion.
It brings up the point of, like, what I was talking about before. It's about, this album is about imperfect people, you know, and it's like...
It's raw, it's real.
It's his most emotional, personal album, for sure. I don't think there's any debate with that.
It's brave, okay? This is bravery.
Next song, Purple Hearts, Summer Walker and Ghostface Killah.
So... Also, another thing on the sequencing, you know, their fight ends and then it's like stop tap dancing around the conversation.
Then they get into the song Purple
Hearts. Right
into
this song, which is like more of a traditional R&B jam, which another one of my early faves.
I didn't really like this one as much at first, but it's grown on me a lot since. The Yeah Baby is dope.
Yeah, baby.
I've been saying that a lot the last couple days.
And Purple Hearts could also be kind of a thing of like, they still, these, in terms of transitioning from We Cry Together, these people still love each other, but the hearts are bruised, they're purple. Like, they've taken some damage.
Yeah, and how they say "shut the fuck up" when you hear love talking. And in the last song, they're telling each other to shut up a lot. So it's
it definitely ties together, I think, for sure. But at this point, it also kind of marks that he's starting to tell the truth a little more. He's starting to be a little more open and real with like himself to an extent. I think some of these bars, which kind of transitions into the back half of the album, the second disc.
This is like, melodically, the songs that are the most like smooth that go down. It's like Purple Hearts and Die Hard and a couple other songs that are those are my early favorites because they're the smoothest.
Yeah, those ones I just don't really connect as much with me.
I
just
like
because
Summer Walker's part.
Maybe I'm speaking more towards that you like Good Kid, Mad City more, and I like Butterfly more. Is I like the ones that you have to think about more and shit. And maybe
you're smart and I'm stupid.
Not exactly what I'm saying, but but yeah, you know what I mean in terms of like in first impressions and stuff too. What you gravitate towards, I gravitate towards something that could be like a lot deeper and trying to dig for stuff. While like you at first glance, like, oh, these are the ones that are most accessible. These are the ones that have the most pop appeal. These ones like click with me right away because they're easier.
This is shit I can listen to in the shower.
Yeah,
at work.
You can play. You can. Yeah, like, I love We Cry Together, but you can't play that at many functions. Like, but this one you can, right?
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Like to me, I'm a fan of both in that I love the introspective stuff that you really have to dig deep, but at the same time, I don't want to like have to figure out a 3-page essay every single time I want to listen to a song. Sometimes I just want to listen to a shower song.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like so, like there's room for both.
Yeah, and that's what I was getting to earlier about the fan perception of the music and how things get elevated to a higher level of respect because people have done these long video essays on the thing, which doesn't necessarily translate to like, oh, this is more valuable.
It doesn't make it better either. Yeah, like if it's shit musically, the message doesn't mean anything if it doesn't sound good.
Yeah, but all your points are
there's more content.
It's not good.
More thought-provoking content that can come out of something that is usually a marker that something is more high quality, though.
Yeah.
Andrew,
we still got 15 minutes. We'll finish up with this song. I gotta take a piss. We'll take a little intermission between disc 1 and disc 2.
Okay,
that's pretty good. Good timing then.
Crown on Bob Marley, Wrist on Yo Gotti is also kind of a juxtaposition of like his more spiritual side, and he wants to kind of tap into those roots and stuff more. But also he's still battling with his materialistic side, which he references on the album, and like his wrist is still on Yo Gotti, but his mind is on Bob Marley type of thing. I think it's another kind of contrast between Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers.
Yeah, I got Judge of Life for a double tap.
I like that one.
Like I like that one because it really is like with the culture of instant
gratification,
and also instant judgmental. You like things like Tinder is like chronic with that, which is why I hate it. And like you need to Instagram's like you need to sum up a person's life just based on these minor details that you learn about them on first glance. And I'm like, that is like bad.
Yeah,
that's not how you analyze people. You know.
Yeah, Kendrick makes lots of great points about phones. That being said, I'm gonna keep using mine every single day.
Yeah, that's not gonna change my opinion of it. In terms of the contributions with the features, Summer Walker, I really like her contribution.
Yeah.
It could have been SZA.
I could have got
if he was still tight. Maybe
that's the thing. Criticism is that it could have been.
No, it's only
else.
because I'm making that point because maybe he is on the outs with some of these TDE people. Of like, this could have easily been a SZA feature, but because Summer Walker, because maybe they're not on good terms. Like I don't. It's kind of theorizing. I don't want to put it in anyone's mind, or I don't want to,
I just need to get this out.
Pretty bad blood out there that isn't there, but
I need to stop tap dancing around the conversation and just say it. Ain't love if you judge my past. Ain't love if you don't eat my ass.
Okay, boys, where we sit on this one? Would you eat a girl's ass if you were in love with her?
Obviously, yes.
Josh?
No comment.
I'm a firm no on that one. And I love my girlfriend. I'm not eating ass.
Hey, if it's love, I deserve to get some head on a balcony. Sometimes.
That's true. I agree with that one.
Actually, I'm not into that. That's voyeurism. I don't want people seeing.
It depends what kind of balcony. Depends what kind of balcony.
I need to see the balcony.
Yeah, I need to see. Yeah, show me the balcony.
I need to get a visual of the land first.
If I'm in Miami, it's Super Bowl weekend, I got 6 bitches in the hotel, I might consider it.
Yeah. Circumstantial.
Also,
Neither here nor there.
Like Ghostface Killah is giving a reason why people consider him a legend.
Yeah, great verse. Themes in the religious themes he brings in are great as well. Because this song is like
killing homelessness. I don't give a fuck about this land. I need ownership. You know, he's talking about colonialism. Okay. Generational trauma. And speaking of generational trauma, we need to go shit for ages.
All right, disc 1 is over. Disc 2, intermission, boys and girls, and anyone in between. We got 9 more tracks. Final thoughts, maybe guest speaker here. We're 2 hours in. Boy, oh boy, it's gonna be a long.
It's not gonna be that as.
All I got is a pipe dream and some crack chains. Street knowledge is the thing that kicked me out the graves. I gotta watch my back, staying into space. Missing Sunday dinner, so I'm missing on the grace. I'm not mentally okay living in this place, so I gotta smoke and drink all of the pain away. Perplexing.
Okay, so coming back from our intermission, that's the end of This is something I only realized like a few days ago, that there's 2 sides to the album and that it ends.
Yeah, I think it's a huge
It all
thing.
kind of just flowed together for me.
It does, but also it makes sense in a way.
But they both...
Because this side is much more him being open and actually kind of like accepting the therapy instead of being apprehensive and like really spilling his guts in a lot of these songs.
Okay, so it still starts with the singing of like that Sam Dew guy.
Yeah, who's all over the album. I don't know what he's from, really.
I think he's like just a close associate of Kendrick, who's been mentioned before as like a, mentor or a protege of his.
Count Me Out, another one of my favorite tracks on here.
It starts off with Therapist, Session 10, Breakthrough. What do you think that means?
This is his...
It's track 10.
This is his breakthrough. This is the turning point of the album where he's starting to actually realize his own faults and like try to get better and like try to seek help, I think. Because he's saying for the first time on this album here, on this song, like he's learning to love himself. It's like a new chapter in his life.
The second half of it has more excerpts from Eckhart Tolle.
Yeah.
And his lectures.
All over the album as well. Mainly this half of the album too, pretty much. So
it's kind of like... First half is him opening himself up more, and then this is like he's actually working on his issues.
Yeah. He's presenting the issues, and now he's getting into it. Yeah. Like, some of these songs to me in the back half are like therapy sessions, like straight up, just like him spewing his guts, like, kind of thing. But some of them aren't, so who's to say?
Count Me Out, I will say that it's like musically interesting and there's good parts, but it's not exactly one of my faves.
Yeah. I think it's probably one of my more favorite, more accessible ones. Like, this is on the level to me of N95 in terms of accessibility to an extent, and more like catchy and kind of bright kind of sounding song.
A little bit more of
I don't have many notes on it, but I like it a lot.
More tap dancing.
More tap dancing.
It's kind of all over the place, like just how it...
The structure is,
It's structured.
A lot of beat switches, but like in kind of like a weird...
But I like this. I like the sort of choir singing part of when he's saying, and I trip and fall.
Yeah, I think it's a great production overall.
I just didn't understand really what meant of the I love when you count me out thing. I don't understand exactly what that means or what the context of it is.
I was trying to read into it, and someone was saying, like, maybe it's like he's saying this to himself. Like, I loved in the past when I counted me out, because now I'm showing myself that I'm, like, much better and shit, in a way. Or maybe, and there's...
You might be able to, like, spin that into the whole narrative of, like, having a sort of a negative pattern of thinking where you're constantly trying to prove yourself wrong or prove the haters wrong, and how that might lead to unforeseen consequences in the end.
Yeah, that's how I took it originally, was like, I love it when I get to prove people wrong. That's basically how I took it.
But it might not be like the best thing to inspire you, because you're, at the end of the day, you're just looking for a reaction, so you're always going to come up wanting, you know.
Yeah, it's still outward validation at the end of the day, just coming from different kind of people.
I think that's necessary in terms of, like, maybe it doesn't really like mean much, but like the overall thing of the song in terms of like just this is the breakthrough, this is the turning point. Like it makes sense more of it doesn't have much meaning behind it other than that to me. Like I don't really have any other notes on this one, so but I'm not sure.
Yeah, but that's another. That's where I link into my meaning of the big stepper being the big dance that we're all playing. Is that the like exceeding your expectations that you set for yourself, and that whole process of going round and round with the reaction and.
So you're finding meaning to the chorus there.
Yeah.
But I understand like not knowing exactly what he's trying to say can be frustrating.
Yeah.
But like.
This is the type of stuff that, like, I'm at this stage of listening to the album where I'm starting to put this stuff together, and it's blowing my mind a little bit. So, but musically, like, that one, it wasn't one of my early faves.
Fair.
Let's just say.
Next one, Crown. This one stood out to me more at first, but with repeated listens, it's kind of the opposite. It's kind of like, okay, I kind of, I get it. Like, I still like it a lot, but it's like, sometimes it's a little bit long, maybe, or it's kind of one note. Like, it just... kind of just sticks to the one thing for
on
the whole
first
time.
listen I was kind of fascinated. I was like, wow, Kendrick's really doing this. Like,
yeah, me too.
He's really dropping the rapper, the expectation, and just doing like a classical like piano, like sad kind of humming along, saying you can't please everybody kind of thing. I thought it was sort of an emotional peak in a way.
That's what I got too. Is like, especially at the ending, it sounded like the way that he was singing it and like the choruses and stuff like that. To me, it sounded like he was. It sounded like it was an epiphany for him.
Yeah, I think these first two songs are like really like him like. Yeah, like it's fully realizing everything. It's
like a mantra that he keeps saying to himself. I can't please everybody.
Yeah.
It's like, it's something that you just say to yourself.
You have
like,
to.
I can't please everybody. I can't please everybody. I can't.
Which is something he says all throughout the song.
He's grappling with his success as well.
Yeah, of like him being famous and then all these people around him asking him for stuff and him feeling bad when he says no, even though he shouldn't feel bad because in like that general sense and the whole fan interaction and stuff and how he can't please everybody, like it's all there.
Heavy is the head that chose to wear the crown, which I take, which I don't agree with because he didn't really choose the success. Really, he just like it was kind of like given to him. But
he kind of knew that he was. He says on the album he knew he was special from a certain age. Like he kind of knew this was probably his destiny in a sense. And another that's a reference to Shakespeare, Henry the was it fourth or fifth or whatever.
Really?
The crown, heavy
is the head that chose to wear the crown, to whom is given much is required now.
I mean, not that part, but the crown shit is...
Yeah, I thought that was the Bible, but I guess maybe it's from Shakespeare, too. It could have been...
What's the difference, man?
Whoa.
But another kind of reference to plays and more of a kind of that kind of storytelling kind of shit. Style.
I just like that. Like, to whom is given much is required now. It's like, it's like you've been given so much. It's time to give back, Kendrick. And it's just like, well, I can't.
Yeah.
You got family and stuff.
Yeah, this is one of the songs that like it just brings to mind like what your understanding of what his lifestyle is, and him, his mental state, like going through things that have happened to him, like death and relationship problems and etc.
And how he's still working on it. Like he's saying this whole mantra of like I can't please everybody. But also he's saying I can't even please myself. So like he's realizing that like okay, maybe I can't please everybody, but I also can't make myself happy and please myself. So there's an issue to that as well, which leads him to dig deeper, I think, for the rest of the album. Aside from maybe the next track.
Yeah, if like to me that's where an artist really needs to focus on is making art that they appreciate first.
Yeah.
Because if you start trying to please other people, then you're just going to be on a wild goose chase.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, this is also the album that Kendrick wanted to make. I don't think it was really fan service. I don't think there was I don't think he was chasing a hit, really. I think it was just him. Like, this is the album that he wanted to make. Because, like, he had writer's block. I'm sure this is all... Maybe not all he could come up with, but, like, this is what was stewing in his head.
This isn't a track that I go to and listen to a lot, but, like, I feel like the album would feel different without it, you know?
Yeah.
It needed that moment.
Yeah, I agree with that.
A lot. Anyway, Silent Hill is another one of the... Silent Hill is the early banger.
The beat is
first of all, I want your thoughts on it as a Silent Hill video game stan.
Silent Hill was the first song I listened to simply because I wanted to tweet about it, and I'm like, the fact that he has this because I'm a huge fucking like Silent Hill is one of my favorite video game series of all time, and so I was like hoping
6 hours later.
I was hoping, anyway, so then Pyramid Head comes in and stabs Maria, and no, so I was hoping that it would have like what references to Silent Hill are they gonna make? None whatsoever. I was hoping for at least maybe even like the sample that they used from Silent Hill. Nothing.
0 out of 10.
0.
Hate the album.
So not maybe that little like kind of click like the little hi-hat. It's not like a gun sound effect.
No, none of that.
Could have been like a reload.
And I'm like, my disappointment was immeasurable, and my day was ruined.
No, so you're not a big Kodak fan either.
No.
But Silent Hill is the hill of
silence.
Also, I feel like
I don't know.
I feel like Kendrick
dude.
is
Are we rappers?
Are we podcasters?
I feel like Kendrick was just repeating himself from Crown. You know, it's like stressed out. You know, like just
yeah.
like
this if there's gonna be a song that doesn't really fit in terms of the major themes, it might be this one. Like there still has some ties, but like it isn't really as much lyrically like in tune with it. Like sure, it's a banger. Like I do love the song. It's one of my favorites. Like the beat is crazy, chorus is nuts. Kodak Black gives like a pretty good verse to me, for all things considered. But yeah, in terms of themes, I don't really
the one
think
good
it has
redeeming
too much.
thing about the song for me is that chorus.
Yeah, is pushing these bitches off me like, huh? Is this Kendrick being somewhat cheeky about it? Is he being
maybe
like, kind of ironic or just genuinely saying like I'm trying to filter out the fucking
I think it's a similar
fakes.
thing of like he's trying to get the fake people out of here and this technology kind of thing as well to an extent.
Yeah,
the only thing I wrote to him was like maybe they're like the whole being like stressed out, like the whole wanting silence shit is like because of their fame. Maybe like that's because that's what Kodak is talking about as well. But like nothing that really links it all together to me too much.
I would say like musically it fits in because even though it has more of a trap feel to it, it still has those strings.
Yeah, musically
kind
it
of
does
give it
for sure.
more drama to it.
And I still love that it's here, but it's just like you know what I'm saying.
Honestly, that's the best Kodak verse I've ever heard.
Probably,
like,
yeah.
I love the thing of my AP Roman numerals.
I love the ring
everywhere
pop.
I go, I get pharmaceuticals.
The ring pop bar. Yeah, he has some bars here, and the flow is decent. You know.
I like when he says, "Pick my daughter up. She need all of us. I need all." It's like just simple.
Yeah.
But great, and it's
it's very melodic, very smooth track.
Small contribution that he has.
Yeah.
Really, it's a Kodak song.
No, well, he Kendrick's got the chorus and stuff.
Yeah, but like the most lyrics on it are from Kendrick.
Yeah,
From
probably.
Kodak.
Most unique words, for sure. But again, we kind of talked about Kendrick's inclusion earlier. I don't know if we have anything more to say about that.
About
I think
Kodak's inclusion,
I think I got everything off that I wanted to say.
It's controversial. I'm not a Kodak fan, really, and I don't think I'm gonna be.
Yeah.
But Kendrick definitely elevated his shit to a different level, and I respect it.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I just like Kodak's accent and his vibe that he brings to it.
His drawl that he has, yeah.
Yeah, he kind of adds something.
It's nice to hear like a unique voice and someone you wouldn't expect on a Kendrick album to be on an album, and they do like work well together, like chemistry wise, but like lyrically, to me, it doesn't really do that much for me. There's too much there.
Imagine if they did a whole like collab album, like that would be weird. Be like the Rich the Kid Lil Wayne album.
That would just be outshining, completely an outshiner right there. Yeah, nothing much else to say on this one, I don't think.
It's just really good.
Yeah, it's a banger. Fuck with it.
Saviour interlude. We already kind of so the interlude's like.
I think this one makes more sense than the Kodak one though, because he's talking about generational trauma and his shit, being like, imagine seeing your mom all coked up when you're trying to do long division type shit, and like talking about his uncle and shit. Like, there's more to this one, and I think he's a better rapper than Kodak Black, so I prefer this one. It's still not like a great song standalone, but like it makes more sense to me.
Yeah, but also the opening of the therapist talking about like don't define yourself by the bad things that happen.
Yeah, that's a straightforward generational trauma. Fucking, they're saying
like they're not even they're not tap dancing around the conversation.
Yeah, they're into it now.
He's just saying straight up. There's no metaphors, no hiding behind anything. Just don't define yourself by the bad things that happen to you. I cannot stress this enough and put it more plainly. You know,
and I think he's supposed to be the therapist. I appreciate that.
Like at this point in his career, he's done with being so cloak and dagger with what the secret meanings of everything is. You know, it's more straightforward.
Mm-hmm. I love the bar. Uncle told me the shit in the movies was only magic. This year I did 43 shows, took it all home to buy him a casket. I think that's a pretty moving bar. And a whole thing of these words come out of God, you can't out-rap us. It's kind of where you start hearing more religious themes and stuff of how he might be referencing, because talking about us there, referring to him and Kendrick, and God is speaking through them kind of thing. Like, he kind of sees himself as a god in a sense, but also not. And how, a lot of religious bars, and how he kind of, I don't know, like, there's some religious aspects to the album that I fully haven't diving into, but, like, I know they're there, but I don't fully have a good grasp of them quite yet.
It is a marvel, like, how he's able to rap over that, like, classical music instrumental.
Yeah,
and how
the flow is still, and the rhymes are good.
The music like swells and gets like comes to sort of a
lot of great
conclusion,
kind of band music.
And then he kind of does he stops the rap and does another flow where he's like talks about when I
little his cutesy little flows he does.
Yeah, it's like just very creative what he did. Savior.
The rest of these songs all have stars next to it. The rest of this last run is immaculate. All great songs to me.
This is the one where he gets more into the issues about like race and social media, and like
politics and war,
post George Floyd era.
Yeah.
About posting the black squares.
Yeah, I got that there.
That's another thing that was kind of like on a recent like Atlanta episode where they kind of went into how within the activist space there's a lot of people that are just literally
doing
like
it for the money.
Yeah, that are just clout chasers.
The white fashion episode,
leeches and stuff.
And that recently came out about some of the like Black Lives Matter organizers that were just like bawling, like spending millions. Which he kind of like he was an early on adapter like with back in the 2015 era.
Yeah. And as it says here as well, he's meditating after that bar. He's meditating in silence made you want to tell on me. He's like, he's kind of reference to Silence Hill as well. He's keeping quiet during this whole thing, and people were calling him out. Like, where's Kendrick? He has to say something. Like, no, why? Like, I'm not your savior. I'm not the one to help. There's nothing I can do in this situation. Like, him realizing
Tupac died, okay?
Yeah, he was like, Tupac is dead. There's no saviors, guys. Like, come on.
Stop treating rappers like they're superhuman. Rappers like they're superhuman. It's not healthy.
Yeah. More tap dancing as well in the song.
Yeah, more tap dancing. And it's also a really strange beat, but I dig it.
Yeah, I think it's dope. I love the intro of, like, he's like, you come to, like, Kendrick taught you how to think, but he's not your savior. Cole taught you to be empowered, but he's not your savior. Future told you to hold the money counter, but he's not your savior. Like...
Yeah, and then LeBron is the last one.
Yeah, which apparently, I read on the Genius thing, it was supposed to be something about Ye. About, like, Ye is da-da-da, but he is not your savior. Because it's all about...
Yeah.
It would make sense because the first three are rappers and the last one isn't. Because like apparently like on Apple Music like that was like the leaked lyrics that came before or whatever, it said Ye, but he changed it last minute. I'm not sure why. Maybe Ye reached out to him, I'm not sure, but
Ye told you to go to McDonald's, but he is not your burger
Ye told you to be a bad bitch, the whole Yeezy taught me thing.
Yeah
Come on.
That one I think he's really just alluding to the real guy, Jesus motherfucking Christ. I mean, the song is literally called Savior. I like the bars about this is what we were mentioning a little bit earlier, which we said we were going to get into, and now we're actually getting into it.
Whoa, guys.
So this is now I'm getting into it.
Full circle.
Payoff.
About the Christian said the vaccine is the mark of the beast.
Yeah.
When I got COVID, it kind of made me think like, oh, should I really go along with this holistic shit, or should I just kind of follow along with the vaccine like a normal person?
Yeah.
And he's saying about like fuck the capitalists or that kind of shit, or like fuck the
capitalists disguising their
trying to be human and like, trying to be
getting
like,
political with it too.
Trying to feign empathy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It mentions Vladimir Putin as Vladimir causing nightmares, which is like that's a pretty new thing that happened. Like, so it must have been pretty recent, right? Like, shit.
Yeah, that's another good like politics and current events, but not being too on the nose with it.
Yeah,
just
still overall talking about this as the society.
We all have
cycles.
this warlike mentality where we can only think about.
Yeah, it's a collective consciousness. It's the generational trauma within us. Like, it's all a cycle. Like, what he's trying to say, I think, for the most part.
Yeah.
Like the bar, well, the whole bar kind of also talks back to when we're talking about Kodak Black. I like it when they like it when I'm pro-black, but I'm more Kodak Black. Like, they like it when you're speaking out at these protests and stuff like that. But if you're a black person and you're similar to Kodak, they'll just completely shun you and not give you any light of day, as they probably should. But like, it's just the overall fact of like black people
putting
fighting
people into a box.
Yeah, and like black on black violence and shit, and comparing like within the culture is like it's worthless, right? Like,
yeah.
That's
That's his kind of his angle on freedom of speech and political correctness and stuff. Is that it's just saying what exactly what everybody wants you to say.
Yeah.
Versus
Yeah, I think it's a great song. Another standout for me. Do we get into it?
I mean, we got to get.
Anything else on Savior? I'm good on Savior.
I'm good.
Auntie Diaries was. My notes are storytelling, family, religion, trans issues.
Mm-hmm.
To me, this is one of the best examples of storytelling in rap and poetry that I've.
And the build up, the beat gives it is like insane, gives you chills, like. And it's an important. I said it before, but it's an important song. Like, it might not be the most like the best musically sounding song, but like I'm sure there's some people like maybe that are growing up kind of how Kendrick grew up and have certain views on some things, and they hear this song and it's starting to open up their minds a bit, which I think is like super important. Like, come on, like that's huge if that's the case.
Especially with like when you consider that people in America are Christian for the most part.
Yeah.
So if you want to do something about LGBT issues,
they reference the church a lot. They put that in play in the whole back half of the song. Like, it's a huge thing to talk about.
Yeah. And like how he slowly starts like throughout the writing of the song, he's continues to like misgender his aunt and his cousin.
Yeah,
but then slowly over time he starts to correct himself.
Yeah, he's getting better. He's realizing
he's like it's about being an imperfect ally. You know, like that's basically all there is to it. Is that like sometimes like you can't like expect people who are stuck in their ways for so long to all of a sudden just be fully on board. You gotta give them time to like. You gotta allow them to fuck up sometimes. Like, accidentally misgender you sometimes, and like just let them. Obviously, I don't know. I'm just speaking from what I've seen other people talk about this as well for the online discourse. Like, people need to sometimes, if people genuinely want to like support you and be an ally for you,
they have to learn. They have to grow to some of them.
They need to allow them to make mistakes sometimes and accidentally misgender. Like, not allow, like, if they're genuinely coming from a good place, then I think that's all that really is necessary. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think that, it's definitely important that somebody does something about these issues of trans people not being accepted into society. In this world, especially in the world of hip hop, especially because there's kind of behind in that sense. Like, there's no trans rappers really out there.
Yep.
Maybe there are some. I just haven't
I'm sure
heard
there's
of them.
some, but
but it was kind of interesting to see the immediate reaction was like a lot of people
being negative towards it because he uses the F slur.
Because he uses the slur a lot.
Yeah, and I think that it's a valid criticism coming from like, because like obviously. I can't really say it's like, well, you're just being oversensitive for like getting offended by this. Like, I'm not gonna disqualify anybody's immediate gut reaction.
Like, that word can be legitimate triggering to some people that no matter in what context they hear it and it fucking.
I'm not gonna try to dismiss anybody's feelings about it. But I do understand that people are being
just
triggered.
give your opinion on the art. Like, I think it's.
But I do
it makes
agree
sense
that
for
it
the
makes
song.
It's okay because I think the overall message of the song, when you get through the story, is that words are more or actions are more important than words. Anyway,
that's the whole last stanza of it. It's talking about like
kind of says
being
that
a hypocrite. Like,
when the pastor is like says bad things about his cousin, he stands up for her in that moment. And that means a lot more than the
him
fact
saying
that
the F word a few times.
That in his past when he didn't know what he was saying back when it was considered normal to talk like that.
And he's saying like now towards the end of the song he's saying like now we can say it and laugh together because we know it's not on some fuck shit. We know it's not Like, I don't know if that's necessarily true. That's what I got out of it. But then at the very end, it's like, but only we can say it together, but only if you let a white girl say the N-word, because that was the whole thing that came out like in 2018 or something like that, like after Damn.
Yeah, which honestly, like, I can understand why you would feel bad about that, just because you were kind of putting a person in a bad situation where they have to sing along to the song. It does have the N-word in it. You're supposed to just know that. Yeah. But maybe you didn't get the memo.
Yeah, I don't know. But
he's still kind of, as a performer, you kind of have to go into it knowing that, you know, you don't want to sick a whole mob of fans on somebody just because they made us a social error.
Right. I don't think he's like beating himself up for it. Like, he only references it this one time and not really in a negative connotation. It was more so his cousin bringing it up kind of thing. Like,
but I feel like he must have a little bit of feeling of guilt, like just
probably. It doesn't say it specifically though.
It wasn't a great situation to
it was a rare. People could perceive it as a rare L for Kendrick potentially back in the day, but
but yeah, just an interesting discourse about words and who can or cannot use them. But like, the thing that had more personal meaning to me was just about like getting down to what this religion of Christianity is supposed to really be about. The humanity,
supposed to be accepting. Shouldn't you love thy neighbor
and
like,
loving people, and the love, taking the love of the religion itself and making that more important than just being a human being that's like nice and not
more devoted to Christianity than just being
saying
like
that
a good person.
Gay people are an abomination and they're destroying like America or whatever. And you kind of have to realize that when you say that, sure, it's your religion, but you're kind of being a fucking asshole.
You can also think for yourself, right? Like shit. Yeah. No, very powerful.
This stuff is meaningful to me because I grew up Christian. And Kendrick kind of sets a good example for like bringing these religious ideas to the modern day and getting rid of the medieval shit that doesn't make any more sense. Like,
because he references a bunch on here, Jay-Z and Oprah and stuff, because they had that whole conversation back in the day of like, is it okay to say the N-word? Oprah was like, not at all, even black people shouldn't say it, and Jay-Z was like, no, you should, kind of thing. Like, he plays around with that kind of idea a little bit on the album.
And also just like the idea of redemption and, I guess, for lack of a better word, and allowing and growth and forgiveness, and
which is
just
like that's what the album's all about. Being. Like, it's about growth, and he's trying to help other people grow at this point too, and trying to like he's trying to better the world to an extent.
He's really putting himself into the line of fire on this one. And I respect it.
No, but I think it's
one thing I saw was just people taking the Bruce Jenner line out of context and just being like, this song sucks, and which is I can get how the song sonically, like,
it's not as
it's a little bit boring,
crazy musically, but I think the build up and the whole story, if you're really paying attention to it, and if
it's easy to dismiss and not really, and just kind of say, sorry, I didn't like it. And that's a valid response, but I think like writing a whole fucking essay about like, well, you didn't do this right, and you didn't do that right, and if you're, you have to do it this.
It completely defeats the whole purpose of the song, which is that people grow and change, and sometimes they fuck up.
It's kind of like when you stumble upon the issues involving gender, people who like are academically study this stuff have very strong feelings, and like they know about all the different rules and regulations about how you're supposed to address people and how are you supposed to express things in art without, these people are very passionate about these issues, and they're going to turn the whole...
Like, I'm not surprised
they want to go off about this type of shit.
But, I can see exactly where Kendrick's coming from.
It would go to that...
But I think it's going to cause more positive things in the world, this song being out there, than negative.
I don't see Kendrick getting canceled by GLAAD for this.
No.
But we'll see. We'll see if maybe it like won't get some Grammy or something because like
maybe, I don't know.
But honestly, I think the Grammys will.
They're all fucking pedophiles and like I don't know.
Wait, what?
I'm throwing shit at the wall. I'm trying to move on to the next track, Mr. Morale, with Tana Leone, new. I think it's PG Lang signee. This one is another one of my favorites. The beat is very, to me, reminiscent of 3:15:20 by Childish Gambino, actually. Very, like, kind of tribal, spacey, Like, I think Gambino could have been on this one or Mirror. I think both of those beats are kind of that era.
Yeah,
Gambino
that would
to
have
an
been cool.
extent.
Gambino on that.
I mean, it's not. I don't know how necessary it would be for the album, but it would have been cool for sure. Just something I thought I'd point out.
The song starts off with with a guy saying that was one of the worst performances I've ever seen.
Which has to allude to the one talking about where he brought up the white chick and said the N-word, right? That's what I assumed.
Yeah, and I looked it up, and it's it's from like a Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, it's so strange. Just a strange ass like little YouTube video. Kendrick's digging out there.
The song to me is mostly reinforcing the ideas of violence and sort of wildness and.
Yeah, I think also trying to explain generational trauma to an extent to his kids. Like, he's referencing his kids by name here and trying, like, almost it seems like he's trying to tell them, like, hey, what, I can't remember the kid's name. Uzi,
yeah, Enoch.
Enoch. Hey, Enoch, your daddy's been going crazy. Like, he's trying to kind of pass stuff on to his kids, but not maybe being in the best mental state to do so. You know, kind of the whole generational trauma, not wanting to give anything bad to his children, his offspring, kind of thing.
He also mentions that Robert Kelly, like, what if Robert Kelly, which is R. Kelly, didn't get molested, like...
Yeah.
Because I guess he was molested growing up.
I mean, that could be a whole thing of, like, generational trauma. That's why Kodak Black is on here. Like, what if Kodak Black didn't... Maybe Kodak Black got molested and we don't know that. Like, maybe that's public and I just don't know it either. But maybe that, like, speaks more to the reasons why he's on this album. I don't know. Something to think about, though. I'm not mad that he said it. Like, it's an okay thing to observe and to think about, I guess. But... doesn't excuse R. Kelly being a piece of shit monster, but
yeah.
You could take that and go really far with that. Yeah. Like, is Kendrick justifying every bad thing that anyone's ever done? By
no, he's
saying,
just throwing it out there, guys.
You know, I remember reading something that was like your past explains why you do things, but it doesn't excuse them.
Yeah.
There's a difference between explaining something and excusing it.
And the last bar kind of speaks to it as well, being sacrificing myself to start healing the trauma, or just start healing process,
also,
kind of thing.
The song is just hard as fuck.
Yeah, so the second verse, he goes fucking in.
So did Pharrell produce that?
I don't know. I actually don't know much about the production other than Alchemist on We Cry Together, just because he tweeted it.
I just saw a video where it was like Pharrell, like the process of producing one of these songs.
Oh, maybe.
But I'm not sure if it was Mr. Morale or
it would make sense, maybe Mr. Morale.
If it was another song on the album, but whatever.
That's all I gotta say about that.
2 tracks left, not including the heart. Mother I Sober.
Oh my fucking
I would say second emotional peak. I would say
that's like this is gonna go down in history. I feel like as one of the most like emotionally impactful performances I've ever heard.
And everything about it in terms of like his sleepy delivery at the beginning and how he sounds like he's almost not even trying to say it. He's like so like
he's so scared of saying his delivery.
But then he gets more powerful.
Yeah, his delivery is just devastating.
And the beat really helps him give off that messaging of starting really low key with just the piano chords, and then again another song that's building up and really kind of explodes at the end.
So the singer is like, do you know about that?
No.
Beth Gibbons.
Tell me about that.
But actually, Beth Gibbons' performance is so devastating too, and like that's Portishead. That's Portishead though. They released if anybody who likes this should definitely go check out the Portishead album Dummy, which was released in the 90s.
Dummy thick, come quick.
Yeah, not that one, but yes.
Check it out.
It's like considered a classic amongst like that's like this beat is absolutely is like classic trip hop. This is what Portishead sort of really helped define it in the 90s. So check out Portishead's Dummy if you really like the beats and stuff like that, because like having like if you asked me who do you think is going to be on the new Kendrick album, Portishead would have been the last thing I would have asked.
Not Kodak Black? I like Kodak Black would be the last fucking person I'd see on a Kodak or on a Kendrick album. But
like
kind of makes sense.
Yeah,
I mean,
Portishead is the last thing that comes would be the last thing that come to mind. But like
Fred
it
Durst
works.
Okay,
good point. That but it just works so well. It's just the entire song is just immaculate to me. It's
just
the
like whole
a perfect song.
The whole subject matter being sexual abuse and how his mother was abused and how they always keep asking if he was touched and he's like, no, like you don't have to worry about it. Like I'm cool. Like. And just look out of in the black community how it affects so many people, and there's so many rappers out there that he's saying that have been molested and are hiding it with chains and shit, and just the whole kind of cycle of that, and how devastating that shit is. Like it's crazy.
That song is too slow for a casual listen, or it's too emotional for
Yeah, like some of these songs don't stand as well on their own, but
it's not a radio song.
But I don't want all these songs to be N95.
But yeah,
I want some of these to be really deep and emotional and make me feel other things,
Yeah, it definitely deserves its spot on the album.
Yeah.
But if you play this in the whip, though, with the hose...
I mean, we kind of did that today.
Yeah.
The whole
Just
chorus
a bunch of women
being,
crying in the back of your car. You're like, damn, I thought...
Yo, this is pretty hard, actually. The chorus of "Wish I Was Somebody, Anybody But Myself," kind of like the whole, if people were touched as children or whatever, and the whole like imposter syndrome kind of thing, or like they wish they were someone else just because of the trauma they went through, they didn't want to be themselves, kind of thing.
Yeah. I don't want to be here. I don't want to be who I am.
And Kendrick mentions how like it also deals with the fact of sobriety and how he's remained sober over all these years.
Oh, right, because it's not...
Okay, what was I saying? We have audio, ladies and gentlemen. This is what happens when we record for 3 hours.
Wrapping up thoughts on Smother I Sober.
The whole thing about how it's also dealing with sobriety and how he has never really succumbed to drugs or alcohol like that and doesn't use that as a coping mechanism. He says on here, at one point rhyming was his coping mechanism, and at another point infidelity was as well. So that's kind of his kind of addiction. Like he's not perfect in that sense. He has addictions, right? He also mentions here how about by this point Whitney will be gone and shit. Like, are they not together I don't know. I figured they were still together because they were on the album cover and they have children. Like, I don't know if they're still...
That's actually her on the cover? Or is that...
I would think so.
I thought it was somebody else.
Yeah, let us know in the comments if you know. But because also at the very... on Mirror, he says, I choose me, I'm sorry, almost as like... Is it almost a breakup thing? I don't know. I'm probably reading too much into it, but...
Yeah. I didn't get that angle as much, but makes sense.
But, I mean, she's on the album... Well, she's speaking on the album a bunch of times, though.
Yeah.
Because at the end of this song, with the child, she's like, congratulations, you broke the generational curse, and his children thank him, which is pretty cool, I think. Also, when he refers about rappers being sexually abused, he says, listen close before you pass judgment. Could be maybe a reference to Kodak as well. Maybe, he was sexually abused, perhaps. Referring to that. And yeah, at the very end, he frees everyone from the trauma. He's like, I free my mama for this, I free myself from this, I free Whitney from this, I free the abusers from this. Like, I free everyone that's involved in this process, which is, like, kind of crazy.
Wow, congrats.
Yay.
Congrats on freeing all those people.
Stop playing with your dick over there, Alex.
And we don't have any video to prove otherwise.
God damn it.
You're fucked, mate.
Okay, Mirror.
Yeah, I think we're good on that one. Another great standout track to me. Mirror, another great standout track to me. Again. Great outro.
I didn't listen to this one as much. The main thing I know is I Choose Me, I'm Sorry, and the sort of violin accompaniment to it. It's a good outro. It's kind of ends it on a positive note.
And it kind of wraps up some of the themes that we hear on the album. And he's kind of like a different person. He's kind of changed his outlook and stuff and different perspective. One thing I'm curious about, there's a few bars on here, the whole kind of intro before ends and before I go and fast asleep, I bared my soul and now we're free kind of thing. And also him saying, I run away from the culture just to follow my heart. Could this be, I know it's his last album on TDE, but parts of it are like leading me to believe maybe this could be like the last Kendrick album. Like, I choose me, I'm sorry. I don't need to please you guys anymore. I don't need to please, like, I'm just here to please myself. Like, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Either way, I don't think that's really true. I think he's gonna have another album in the future. I don't know when it'll come though. Maybe he's gonna take a step back and manage PG Lang and that kind of shit. Like, who knows, right? In terms of the future with Kendrick.
Well, shit, yeah. I just heard that Frank Ocean is making an A24 movie.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Yo, let's go.
So,
That's
my
tight.
point being...
These rappers from 2016 and 17 ain't rapping no more.
Yeah, the point is I hope that these people get the budget they want to make their artistic dreams come true beyond just making albums.
For sure.
I don't really care for how the beat just ends. I feel like it could have gone... like, with all the, like, crazy build-ups and stuff like that, I don't like how this one just ends.
I kind of like how it just ends. It's the outro. It's just like, all right, done. Like, that's it. Leaves you just space to think a little bit. I don't know. But I'm a sucker for those kind of endings, like on Awaken My Love, when it was in the middle of singing a note and then it cut off, and I'm like, okay, that's pretty cool. Thoughts on Mirror? Thoughts on Kendrick's future before we give our final thoughts?
The future?
It was releasing the Ghana documentary like next week or something like that. We'll see what's in store there. He's going on tour with Baby Keem. We'll probably see a few more music videos, but after that, like who's to say? Like I don't really know.
I mean, I want to return to Good Kid, Mad City Kendrick.
No. I want Kendrick to keep evolving, keep doing different shit.
I just mean like, I want a loose Kendrick like mixtape where he's just having fun with.
Where he's just rapping. That'd be dope. Because I was saying it earlier when we were
rapping
listening
with
to,
lots of different people and stuff like that.
When we were listening to Good Kid, Mad City, I was like, this is like might not be my favorite Kendrick album. Like it's number 2 probably for me though. But it's his best rapping showcase. He's at his best rapping wise on this in terms of fucking flows and delivery and just like the energy and the voices he does and like all how unique it is. Like rapping wise, it's clear as the rest of his shit.
That's why it's more considered a GOAT hip-hop album, is because it's more conventionally hip-hop than his other stuff.
Yeah, to people, it's more of a jazz fusion kind of the thing. And then Damn is kind of a pop rap almost. Like, Good Kid, Mad City's pure hip-hop. So I think this is to an extent, but overall, has a lot of different risks it took.
Overall feelings. My review is that it's very good.
You've said that at the end of every review that we give an album that we like really like, and you're like, yeah, it's very good. Say anything more. Any other interesting...
My point being that whenever we review shit that's this good,
that's all you can say.
It makes me think, like, what is the point of reviewing
We've
art?
talked about it all the way through, and about how great it is. Like, at the very end, you're like, yeah, it's... You should know by now, we all think it's a great album, I think.
As a comedian, I'm searching for an angle here, but there is no angle. It's just praise.
Yeah.
It's like, so what are your final thoughts on it? Did you not just hear everything that I just said?
But I kind of wanted... For my final thoughts, I kind of wanted to meditate on how I really gave myself the space to just live with this album, and I listened to it a lot. Went for a few runs that I went for on like a day off, you know, in a nice location where I just digested the album on my own and just living life and just enjoying this part of my summer. It's starting to really, like, I can feel myself already a year from now being nostalgic and hearing this music and thinking about this summer and the fun times that I'm having so far.
Right. To me, I'm not, like, when I'm going out and stuff and like driving around, I'm not putting on this album first just because for me the experience is so like sit down, listen to the album front to back, because I've had less time with it too, but also like I want to try to keep my opinions of it, at least for the podcast, as disassociated with my personal life and what's going on with my life as possible. That's kind of why I didn't listen to it when I was sick, is because I'm like, I don't want this to influence, I don't want me having a good summer so far to influence how I think of the album. Like, I think, like, I love Testing by A$AP Rocky. I still do. I think it's aged pretty well. But I was, like, in love with it when it first came out, because that was, like, the start of that summer that year, and that was all I was listening to when I was longboarding and shit. And I think at that point I may have had a little bit of construed feelings towards it because I associated it with those good feelings. So at least for the podcast's sake, I wanted to kind of separate those two things. But in general, it's something that this album is something that I will listen to for the rest of the year and years to come. I think there's a lot to this album. I think there's a lot of theories that I've heard of this album that are super interesting and can make you like dive super deep into it. There's just a whole lot to it and a whole lot to enjoy for me.
Yeah, that's the struggle that I run into when I'm reviewing music that's this good, is I think like the only like new or different thing that I can say about this is how it personally hit me in my life, and how, you know,
that's all you really can do.
But also, to me, a lot of this podcast is like just getting my nerd shit off, and because I love talking about this anyway, and we would have talked about this anyway. Yeah. That I'm like, well, might as well, right? That's kind of the whole basis behind part of the pod. But in terms of reviewing stuff, I agree. Like, it's hard to come up with a unique opinion when you have online stuff and your friends saying stuff and your own opinion, and it all kind of blends together.
I still haven't seen like the Fantano review and the other.
I haven't seen the Fantano
other
review
people
either.
and like. Is this getting like 8 out of 10s or 9s?
I think like Rolling Stone gave it like the best album of the year so far thing. Like I've seen a few of those, but I also critically I haven't seen too much about it. But like in terms of Twitter and Reddit shit, I've seen a lot of like personal people's reaction to it. But critically, I'm assuming it's a darling. Right.
I read through the Wikipedia like critical reception part. Mm-hmm. And just like scroll to the end where you have some of the more critical things, and it's mostly like very nitpicky criticisms that people are making. Yeah. To the point where it makes me think, oh, okay, you're just looking for something, just to be special, just to be different.
Contrarian type shit.
Mm-hmm. And that's where I'm resting right now. That's where my opinion is on it right now. Yeah, his perspective is unique. You know, life is about perspective, and my perspective is different from yours.
Yeah, and no one could do this other than Kendrick. No one can make this album other than Kendrick. Like he's still such an important part of rap,
and it's still universally relatable somehow.
Yeah, like it's so personal.
It's about him,
but it's he makes it so relatable, which is awesome. Josh, do you have any final overall feelings about the album? I mean, you've only heard. It's been
listened to
more
it twice,
new for
so
you.
I don't really. Not really. All I know is that there are some songs that I think are perfect. Some songs that I will probably not keep on my phone or whatever.
Fair.
But those songs that I will not keep on my phone are few and far between.
Yeah.
So far.
I don't think there's any I'm outright deleting, but there's going to be a few that I don't listen to nearly as much as the others.
Mainly for me, just like the interludes and a couple of...
some of the ones... Like, I love We Cry Together, but I'm not going to want to hear that every time. In terms of overall album rankings, this would probably, for me, sit third. To Pimp a Butterfly being number 1, Good Kid, Mad City being 2, this one being third, probably, and in front of Damn. Even though I do love Damn though.
I would have it. Tough. I would have it as number 3 behind Good Kid, Mad City, and Damn.
Okay.
And then behind that is like To Pimp a Butterfly, Section 80.
Yeah, I think Untitled Master is my least favorite, but yeah, still a good album.
Yeah, one other thing is that I've just been asking theories, like coworkers and friends. About what their theories about the title and the overall meaning is, and I'm getting a lot of... It's just interesting to see what someone's go-to answer is just when I when I just spring that question on them.
Yeah.
And, one of my friends, Jason, was... He was actually into Eckhart Tolle a lot during a period in his life, so that's kind of the main thrust that he took out of it. And I also thought, since he's a new dad as well, that a lot of the fatherhood issues would speak to him.
Yeah, that's dope.
I just mainly came out of it with the whole metaphor of the dance of life and how we're all playing our role. Right. I like the metaphor about dancing and how it's sort of a synthesis of the individual, but you're also just following your circumstance. You're doing what everyone else is doing.
Yeah.
You're going along with the dance, but you're also trying to express yourself or break out of the things that have been happening to you. Mr. Morale, that side of it, I don't really have a great theory on what who Mr. Morale is or what that.
Right.
But this is my theory right now.
Right. My main theory that I've seen a little bit online talked about, and that I've kind of seen to myself, came up with maybe some new points potentially, is, I mean, it might be kind of a stretch considering what he did with Damn, the whole Backwards album, but like the whole idea of the last song being a mirror, being called Mirror, and he has a bar in here being like, you have to mirror grievance or something like that, mirror your grief or some shit like that, and the first song is United in Grief. And how you can... A lot of songs have, in terms of Disc 1 and Disc 2, if you take the first song from Disc 1, last song from Disc 2, they have some similarities. Second song from Disc 1, second last song from Disc 2 have similarities. And like the album kind of mirrors itself in a way. The interludes are lined up, like they're the exact same position kind of thing.
Wow.
Like there's a few different...
Interesting.
United in Grief, interludes are mirrored. And because also mirrored in a way because... The Mr. Morale side has the song called Big Steppers, and the Big Steppers side has a song called Mr. Morale, and they're also parallel to each other. and how like there's more references to Mr. Morale on the back half, and then there's more references to the Steppers on the first half. Wow. How it should be almost seen as a mirror kind of thing. It doesn't work for every song. And 95 and Mother I Sober have nothing in common. I don't think like there might be something in there, but it's not a foolproof theory. But it's something I've seen online that I've kind of adapted and started thinking about on my more recent listens. But there could be something there.
That's one to think about.
I don't think he's going to come out with a mirror version of the album where it's the tracks all jumbled up, like Damn. But it could be something there, maybe.
An upside down, backwards version. Anyway, we've been potting for far too long.
Anyone have any last little theories or any little thing that you have to say?
No.
Good God, ladies and gentlemen. Adam, I'm sorry I didn't get you this time. We'll see if we can get you next episode for... do a little what he thinks about it. I still want to see his theory, the whole numbers thing. I still don't get it, so I think it's still worth doing a bit about it, at least at the start of the next episode.
Next episode will be way more random, way more fun.
A lot more new music. Post Malone, Joey Badass, Logic, a bunch of other shit's gonna come out.
Fanny Pack.
It's already come out. Fanny Pack. Stay tuned. Please don't call the cops. Old Eddie Ice, check it out. TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. Yeah, baby.
Barf.
This is so funny. And going Instagram, Twitter, social media. It's pretty popular, right?
Hey, y'all trying to make it to Mars. I'm trying to get in Uranus. My posse is a bunch of clowns. Now you know what insane is. Now you know how I'm aiming. Monty, Chucky, Johnny Hockey. Now you know who the flames are. They benched me, I turned into a star. You bitch made you a fucking mark. Whatever the fuck your name is. I've been acting heinous ever since I hit you.